Ever since the truth exposes me as a fake young master, my classmates celebrate. The poverty subsidy finally has a recipient. My adoptive parents prove less cruel than the novel's version. They merely throw me out. Nobody entertains the biological young master's mockery. Instead, my classmates crowd around. What are your plans? Grace reduces everything to one blunt proposal. Grace offers, come to my country, a manor, not the Mew family. My cutlery stops. Looking up coldly, I ask, is the house all I hate? Grace keeps cutting her steak, yet emotion stirs beneath her cold exterior. After I leave, the Mew family becomes a machine-like factory. Neither she nor her sisters want to return, even with the biological young master there. She understands my disgust reaches beyond that house and family. She tests every attachment. So you like the Yi family, that little room, their people? Having Amy as your sister? Her tone stays calm, but anger runs through it. Though the Yi family does not matter deeply to me, I watch her warily. If you touch the Yi family, this is the last time we meet. Lately, guiding the Yi family from nothing feels like a game. I want to see how long their growth takes, and even call in connections to help. If Grace loses control now, all that work becomes worthless. Grace sneers, knowing exactly how to control me. Her gaze fixes on me like a beast claiming prey. Petty cruelty toward ants does not interest me. Forget the Han family's Beicheng project. My eyes narrow. She remains as vicious as ever, weaponizing what matters to me. Every time, she uses business cooperation to force my compromise. Yet that project is replaceable, however valuable it seems. We spend over a year negotiating it, pouring in time and effort. Walking away wastes an enormous sunk cost, but starting again never frightens me. Grace cannot blackmail me with the same trick. What exactly do you plan to do? Take me away, then what? Pressing the elder sister, I ask, Country A, prison, and daily surveillance? Your twisted ideas have been quiet lately, haven't they? Grace's lips curve. The Yi family can give you nothing, so follow me. Blood no longer makes us siblings, but marriage can. Shock freezes my face. Grace, are you having some kind of seizure right now? My stare shows open disgust. Grace sips her wine. With your status now, do you truly think that girl chooses you? She presses the wound. Her parents lie unconscious in the hospital, while countless eyes watch her. That burden has lasted 5 or 6 years. Under my puzzled stare, her warning continues. There is no time to think. The Lu Group is negotiating a chip project that could at least double its market value, but Ruby must marry. Chairman Zhang proposes her engagement to Adam, and everyone in our circle knows your relationship. Once they become engaged, you become the joke. Silence holds me for a long moment. Then a soft laugh escapes. Ruby and I have no engagement, and we are not a couple. Even if she marries Adam, she remains my childhood friend and business partner. Nobody abandons me, so what is there to mock? Grace shows no surprise and drops the subject. Setting down her glass, she rises. Bathroom break. Eats slowly. I hum and continue my meal. Soon, a waiter brings 3 new desserts and bows respectfully. Grace ordered the kitchen to develop these selections. This cake is freshly made. Please see whether it suits your taste. The little fork carries my first taste. Only the Black Forest earns 2 more bites. The durian pancake feels dull, the matcha truffle is too sweet, and even the acceptable cake is overbaked. Pointing with my fork, I order, remove everything else. The waiter bows and withdraws both plates. Poking the cake, I chuckle at Grace's attention to my diet. Mew family chefs rotate endlessly, and once she learns I enjoy the shop's mousse, she buys the entire store, afraid I may tire of its flavor. She even keeps the kitchen developing new products. Such exhausting devotion. That devotion leaves me loving and hating my eldest sister. A harsh voice suddenly cuts in. Isn't this the former Mew young master? Sorry, that surname no longer belongs to you. Now, you're broke. I look up at the arrogant speaker and recognize the familiar face. Kara, who pesters me for 3 years, survives countless rejections, then finally receives Ruby's brutal lesson. After Ruby drives her away, that supposed sincerity disappears completely. Kara pursues me only for the Mew family's power, though my looks make the gamble attractive from every angle. Catching me promises profit without loss. Instead, Ruby beats her and throws her through the school gates. But today, without my title as Mew Young Master, everything has changed. The Mew family's protection is gone, and the Lu family offers none. Kara regains every ounce of arrogance. From the corner of my eye, Grace returns, but I ignore Kara and lower my head over the cake. Her glance travels across the red wine and half-eaten steak. With a careless smile, she jeers, "Why so shy? Which rich woman bought you? You might as well follow me." Kara keeps going. Following me is possible. With that pretty face, you can barely qualify as my kept man. A violent bang answers her. Grace slams Kara's head onto the table. Kara grimaces in pain and struggles to lift it, but the hand crushing her down keeps her forehead pinned. As she fights uselessly, my gaze catches those high heels. My pupils tremble at the sight. 1 second later, Grace's cold voice cuts through the room. What stray dog crawls in here, takes my seat, and dares harass my person? She keeps Kara pinned against the table. Every word from her mouth adds force to the hand on Kara's head. Kara screams from pain and repeatedly begs for mercy. Grace pretends not to hear. Her laughter turns icy. A pretty kept man, was it? Ha 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 ha. The taunt continues. A rich woman, was it? Look carefully. Kara begs at full volume while my head grows heavy and dizzy. Kara's face turns paler, streaked with tears from physical pain, and her voice grows hoarse. Nobody intervenes. So much for the rumor that Grace and I are incompatible. Calmly, I keep eating while Grace vents. When Kara can barely endure more, even the final bite of cake loses its appeal. The last bite stays untouched. My fork lowers with a sigh. What a disappointment. After wiping my mouth, I warn, Grace, enough. I do not want to be a witness. Take her to the police station. This really is rotten luck. Grace throws Kara aside and she collapses onto the floor. Once Kara and the filth are cleared away, Grace tosses the towel onto the table and eyes my remaining cake. Let me take you somewhere else to eat. My appetite is already gone. No more. Later, the Mercedes stops smoothly at the community gate. From the back seat, we notice a girl standing beneath the dim light. Grace purses her lips thoughtfully and glances at me. Did you ask her to come down for you? My head gently shakes. Amy has clearly waited a long time, though her reason is unknown. We step from the car and she approaches with a soft smile, naturally taking my backpack. Amy, why are you here so late? She rubs my head. Just taking out the trash. Since it was nearly time for you to return, waiting here seemed convenient. Waiting here seemed convenient. The community has poor security, with occasional nighttime robberies even inside its gates. Amy worries about her brother but fears a call might interrupt my conversation, so she simply waits outside. Only then does the time register. It is past 10, and no safety message ever leaves my phone. Amy worries enough to wait this long, yet she cannot bear to blame me. Her gentleness and indulgence leave an unfamiliar soreness in my chest, a feeling beyond immediate description. Then she turns calmly toward Grace. Miss Moo, thank you for bringing my brother home. She remains mild and composed, showing no hostility. Grace's eyes darken when she notices my lowered head and silence. She seems to understand my thoughts. Raising her eyes toward Amy, Grace declares, he is my brother. Her voice stays flat, but competition burns openly in her gaze. Amy's expression never changes. So many people care about him, that makes his sister happy too. Grace turns, enters the car, and leaves as though she loses this round. Her strange attitude puzzles me, but once the Mercedes disappears, I let it go and hold Amy's arm. Guilt softens my voice. Amy, whenever I return late, I'll call, message beforehand, and keep you from waiting outside among all these summer mosquitoes. My gaze drops to Amy's forearm, where 5 or 6 swollen red bites cover her skin, and discomfort tightens my chest. She offers no blame. Instead, happiness reaches her because her brother worries about her and willingly promises to report his safety from now on. Slowly, Amy becomes my sister, and her family becomes mine. At home, Jenny sleeps while Ryan and Chloe discuss the Mercedes in the living room. Chloe lowers her reddened eyes. That car has appeared twice, 2 days ago and today. The Moo family's eldest daughter clearly cares for him. Chloe's worry spills out. She even waits downstairs for him so long. Could he eventually stop coming back? Ryan quietly takes his wife's hand, trying to comfort her, but the unanswered question hangs over the room. Ryan's expression also reveals unease. Chloe sighs sadly and admits, it is not that I distrust Ross. The conditions here are simply too different from the Moo family. If they truly care about him, I want to send him back. We are not qualified to object. Let him live a better life. Everyone knows the Yi family's current situation. Chloe remembers how Ross arrives dressed like someone from a wealthy household. Their own finances are painfully poor, and clothes worth hundreds of dollars already count as luxury. She reasons, if Ross wants to return to the Mew family and live prosperously, that is reasonable. How could the Yi family object? Are they supposed to keep him here and make him suffer with them? If the Ye family ever becomes wealthy again, Ryan will never want his biological son living elsewhere as an adopted child. Standing outside the door, I hear every word they say. To me, staying with the Yi family begins as nothing more than entertainment. To them, I am the priceless treasure they have recovered. I gently push the door open, and the conversation stops. Ryan and Chloe lift their heads together, joy shining in their eyes. Chloe secretly wipes away her tears, then turns her worry into a smile. Chloe cannot wait to rise and come toward me. She reaches for me with relief and asks, Ross is back. Has Ross eaten enough tonight? Mom will cook a midnight snack. I obediently nod and answer, I want some. Food outside is never as delicious as Mom's cooking. My mother's joy brightens when I ask for egg noodles. She hurries into the kitchen while I change slippers. My younger sister locks the door, then joins me on the sofa. My father drinks water, hiding relief behind sweaty palms and forced calm. A genuine laugh rises from me as I open my mouth. Dad, let me discuss something with you. Ryan's hand suddenly shakes, spilling water from the cup. He quickly sets it down while I pat the dampness from my pants. The kitchen answers with another clatter, and Ryan panics again. Could he already believe I am leaving? Goodbye is why I return, isn't it? A smile tugs at my lips, but I suppress it. My parents look helpless, which feels strangely fascinating. Another Musun is merely another disregarded outsider. He differs little from a servant there. Here, my return truly enlarges the family. We can share our days and support each other. That family life is completely new to me. Curiosity replaces my urge to leave. What experiences will this difference bring? Suddenly, leaving the Yi family no longer feels urgent. Ryan has already prepared himself mentally for the possibility of losing me. Even if I announce that I am leaving tomorrow, Ryan believes he can endure it. He tells himself it is not a catastrophe. I suppress my wicked smile, restore a serious expression, and explain I only wanted to discuss how difficult our family's circumstances are. Explaining our finances, I say my mother's stall earns little, while my father's sports car barely covers expenses. A new business needs more money than we have. I ask, would you consider changing jobs instead? My father panics. After all this time, do you still want to leave us? Ryan's tense nerves relax at once. As long as Ross remains, every other problem seems negotiable. A smile returns to his eyes and he asks, do you have any good suggestions? I look at him seriously and say, go to work. Ryan freezes for a long moment before lowering his eyes in loneliness. He admits, it is not that Ross cannot arrange it. Someone over 28 is already too old for ordinary work. Ryan recalls that after the bankruptcy, he applies to company after company, yet nobody agrees to hire him. With no income at home, he borrows money to buy a car and begins working as an online ride-hailing driver. Amy quietly sighs while remembering those days. After school, she repeatedly sees Ryan carrying his briefcase. He sits beneath a large tree with a sorrowful face, sighing as the shade seems to bend his back. Under the dazzling sunlight, his hair turns visibly white. Each time he returns home, Ryan pretends everything is fine and swallows the pain in silence. His relatives still call him useless, leaving the entire burden on this middle-aged father. Ryan looks like a defeated stray dog huddled in a corner, yet borrowing money for a car and driving passengers online gives him a dependable income. Was that advice truly mine? At least the daily pressure weighing on Ryan's heart is finally reduced. Ryan forces out a smile and says, I know you want to make this home better. I will also accept more orders at night and save additional money. Then we can open a shop and start a small business. Our days will improve. He cannot bear to reject his son's good intentions, but he has already tried finding work. Nobody wants to hire someone in his 50s. Seeing Ryan and Amy look troubled, I understand the difficulty immediately. Understanding my father's difficult job search, I lean back lazily, grab a pillow, and hold it against my chest. Leaning forward, I continue explaining my proposal. Dad listens like an eager student. My suggestion is simple. Dad, clerk positions attract countless younger competitors. You built the family fortune from nothing. That took over 20 years of management. Apply for a management role instead. Dad moistens his dry lips. He doubts anyone will hire him directly. Mom enters and gently sets down noodles. Chloe sets down a pair of chopsticks and tells me the noodles are ready. Eat first, then continue talking. I throw the pillow aside, take the chopsticks, and stir the egg noodles. Chloe sits on the armrest beside Ryan and watches me happily, worried that I do not understand how harsh society can be. She softly persuades me, it is not that your dad refuses to try, finding a job is simply difficult in those companies now. Chloe continues, without connections or a background, someone may work for 5 or 6 years and still never receive a promotion. Tilting my head toward my mother, I swear, how can someone unknown enter management directly? I say, my son counts as a connection. Chloe freezes. Ryan and Chloe exchange doubtful looks, as though they nearly forget that their returned son has frighteningly many connections. I slowly remind Ryan, the Yi family used to work in the automobile business, right? A friend of mine bought an automobile company, and I am considering recommending someone to manage it. Dad has the right experience. Lowering my eyes, I eat noodles and speak as casually as discussing clothes. If Dad wants to try, I can recommend him to my friend. Let him interview first. This circle will teach him the market and prepare him to start a business later. My father bites his noodles. What company does your friend own? Ryan immediately worries. It will not be another powerful figure like Wade, will it? Blinking, I answer calmly. You should know Geeling, a rising brand under Liu Automobile Group. Its off-road vehicle costs over 1 million, uses advanced rebound glass technology, and is renowned for exceptional safety. Ryan stammers beside me, shocked that I know such a respected domestic company. Ryan explains that the group's brands rank among China's top 10 in sales and have already expanded overseas. In country A, those cars can be seen everywhere. He stares at me in disbelief, realizing that I actually have a connection to that automobile group. I bite into the noodles and correct him. I do not count as someone who knows the group directly. Between bites, I explain that my friend oversees Geeling's vehicle production, including numerous factories, components, and manufacturing processes. He recently acquires another facility for painting and parts installation. Ryan listens with his eyes still wide in disbelief. The new factory runs entirely on robotic arms. Dad has never seen such advanced equipment. Meeting my friend reveals today's automobile market, I explain. Interest brightens his face, but worry follows. He fears leaving me with an unpayable favor. Setting down my chopsticks, I turn toward my sister. What trouble is our family facing, sister? She smiles knowingly. My concern shows that I am accepting them. Speaking plainly, I temper Dad's confidence. Dad, I can only secure an interview. Keeping the position depends on your performance. Business people value ability. I cannot force anyone to retain you. Ryan answers firmly. Managing such a large factory? Naturally, I can do it. His confidence surprises me. After washing and drying the dishes, I head to the bathroom to take a shower first. Ryan takes a sip of strong tea and sighs. He compares the Yi family to a sailboat and me to its oar. Without that oar, the ship can only drift helplessly with the current. With it, the family finally has a direction. Their strength gathers in one place, and he believes they will eventually reach the opposite shore. Then, summer rain suddenly lashes the window. The storm disturbs everyone through the night. Rain falls for 3 straight days without stopping, leaving the sky gloomy and the sunlight hidden. The family's mood darkens with it. Back in the classroom, Shane immediately kicks off his leather shoes and complains, "How annoying. It rains heavily every day, and my shoes are always wet." His socks cling to his feet as though soaked through. Shane looks extremely uncomfortable. Victor walks over carrying a bag and drops it onto Shane's desk. He bluntly scolds him, "Who makes you foolish? Even when it rains, you never prepare an extra pair of shoes." Shane glares at Victor, then curiously opens the bag. Inside are brand new leather shoes, clean towels, fresh socks, and sponges. His eyes flicker unnaturally as he presses his lips together, clearly finding the gesture considerate. He does not put them on yet. Instead, he looks toward me sitting nearby and raises his voice. Calling toward my friend, I ask, "Are your shoes and socks wet? I have something new here. Do you want to change them?" Victor falls silent. "Those covers are prepared for you, yet you want to give them away? You are heartless." I chuckle and straighten the clear covers around my feet. There is no need. Amy bought these for me, so my shoes and socks stay dry through the heavy rain. I change the shoe covers and zip the bag shut. They look better than water shoes, and my friend is easy to tease. Having a sister helps. You would never wear these otherwise. I shrug. They hurt my image, but soaked feet are worse. My friend purses his lips, plainly envious of my sister's thoughtfulness. At the wine shop, Victor frowns. "Put them on. Wet feet cause colds. Summer is hot, but days of rain have cooled everything. Cold feet make you sick." His fiancée complains, "When did you become so talkative?" At the shop, Victor rolls his eyes but insists, "Dry your feet, then change your shoes and socks." Victor fears subtle concern will make his fiancée flee. After changing shoes, Lin Jiajun feels comfortable again and lowers his voice. "I heard that after Mu Ningshu returned, she never came home. Mu Xuan is obviously not favored." Shon Mingxi answers casually, "Have you been spying on the Mu family? How do you know everything?" Lin Jeon explains, "Sun Yahan told me she has not seen the Mu sisters' cars coming or going these past few days. Then she is definitely not home. That is nothing new. How could any son of the Mu family be favored? Mu Xuan and I both seem out of place there." Shen Mingxi disagrees. "The rumors say I am incompatible with them, but do we not know the truth? Those two ladies are very close to me." Pressing my lips together, I stay silent. During the break, the alleged young master starts crying loudly on his desk again. His status embarrasses the class, so everyone pretends to care. He slowly sits up, lifting his red, tearful face with practiced innocence. Mu Xuan wipes his tears away. His eyes are red and his face looks pure, harmless, and pitiful, as if he has suffered some great wrong. He speaks in a choked voice. Before the class, the tearful student explains, "My mother brought this pen from abroad. It costs tens of thousands. I rarely dare use it. Now the pen meant for my classmate is missing." His friend approaches quickly. "Stay calm. We will find it." Beside the desks, his friend offers guidance. "Remember where you last placed it. We will search again." The student sobs harder. "It was inside my school bag. I searched several times but found nothing." His pitiful display convinces nearly everyone. Another classmate crosses his legs and rolls his eyes. After a while, Lin Jiajun wonders aloud, "Whose drawer will you find that pen in?" He guesses it will be mine, and I think so too. To test that idea, I move the books from my drawer onto the table. As expected, I find a box that does not belong there. I take it apart and uncover an expensive pen. Let us calm down for a moment. "Is this what you are looking for?" Every face turns toward me, and Mu Xuan stares at the box in my hand. Mu Xuan looks shocked, then rushes over and opens the box. "It is this pen. Why is it here?" I sneer softly and stare at him. "Why is it in my drawer?" I scoff. "You know better than anyone. I have seen these petty frame-ups countless times, so they mean nothing." Too tired to keep pretending, I turn away. He looks shaken and asks, "What do you mean?" Mu Xuan insists, "I plan to give it to Xian. How could it have been put in your drawer?" Then he laughs bitterly. "I know you stole it, but now you are trying to push the responsibility onto me. You are biased against me. How can you accuse me like this?" His words paint me as the guilty villain. Mu Xuan grows anxious and tries to clear himself. "If you want, I can ask my mother to buy another one for you. Why make such a fuss?" My thoughts spin quickly, but I can handle this. Muxuan looks angry, posing as a generous victim. The market price of this pen is 27,000. It is unfortunate that it has always been priceless and impossible to buy. Only 500 were produced. I open my school bag, take out my pencil case, unzip it, and toss it onto the table. 4 or 5 identical pens spill out. Muxuan's face grows uglier, and I curl my lips. Adding firmly, I say, check the background first. My name stands first on the shareholder list, making it impossible to miss. This is my failed investment project. 500 pens are priced too high, so sales are poor. They are easy to write with though, so I took several for personal use. I never expected them to cause this scene. The trick is exposed without mercy, and Muxuan can only bite the bullet. I misunderstood you. He quickly adds, someone may have played a prank by putting the pen in your drawer. Who would be lazy enough to use your pen to frame you? Only now does the accused student truly panic. Since I uncover the pen, everyone avoids him. He stands frozen beside his desk. Fear twists every feature on his face. His complexion shifts from green to white. Then his eyes roll back and he collapses. His friend's acting seems far more convincing. Near the desks, his friend reacts immediately. He catches the collapsing student and checks him. Once certain the fainting is real, he hides his concern. Then he eyes the pen and snorts. I expected something valuable. It is unwanted rubbish. The pen turns in my fingers before I speak. He reminds me, this money-losing project needs a plan from everyone this month. You have to recover what you spent. Brother Chen can certainly make money by taking the lead. Another voice considers the project. It is easy to use, but the price is too high. It will probably be difficult. Lowering the price to earn less is better than earning nothing. A shrug answers. Where can it go? I bought the factory outright with my own money. Calmly, I explain the problem. Technology patents are extremely expensive. Our costs are already high. Any further reduction creates losses. With a sigh, I conclude, then this business can fail under me. Everyone debates while I listen in silence. An idea gradually takes shape. Compensation remains impossible, since rarity creates value. Place the pens on the negotiating table, I suggest. Praise them while signing each contract. My plan continues. Give the remaining stock away as gifts. Instead of lowering prices, raise them. Everyone exchanges glances, then nods together. Last year's project proves my judgment. Its success now supports most of their assets. Reviving the pen business cannot produce losses. Outside, thunder suddenly shakes the room. Outside, sudden thunder cuts through our discussion, and everyone turns toward the windows. Beneath the gloomy sky, light rain thickens into a pounding downpour, rattling the glass. My associate mutters, this is eerie, the rain never stops. Where does all this water come from? His classmate narrows his eyes, troubled by a persistent sense of danger. I smile softly, looking completely at ease. I think something good has happened. Until the end of the week, the rain comes and goes without stopping. Heavy showers alternate with drizzle like silver needles, leaving the gloomy sky irritating. At the high-level conference room in Lu City, the debate even covers the rain outside. This is Lu Ruyan's third negotiation. Li Ruyan is discussing chip cooperation with the Zhang family, facing their insistence on marriage. She remains firm. Mr. Zhang, cooperation should be mutually beneficial and produce a win-win result. How is this related to marriage? Lu Ruyan can still make a profit, but she will never yield even half a step over the wedding arrangement. Zhang Mianxi smiles gently. The chip technology is the Zhang family's core asset. Interest alone cannot bind two families. Becoming one family is the greatest guarantee. That is what my mother meant, and it is what I mean too. You still have not let go. Lu Ruyan's face darkens like the sky outside. Do you have some prejudice against my brother? He has already offered 2 points, yet the Zhang family still refuses to relent. I would rather let him give up 2 more points than force him to become engaged to Zhang Zheyu. We have discussed this cooperation 3 times over more than 2 months, and he has not even met Zhang Zheyu. I suspect Zhang Zheyu is just like I was back then. Nathan smiles with amusement. This marriage is only a hemp rope tying 2 families' interests together. Everyone in the Golden Circle knows about Ross. The young master still cannot let go of his childhood companion, but he is no longer Mu family's young master. He is not even registered with you, so he cannot help you. Even if you are deeply attached to him, will Li family's relatives permit this? Nathan's questions strike like knives, yet every word makes sense. Will Lu family shareholders accept him? Is he willing to accept the gap between your status? Are you truly determined to stay with him? Lu Ruyan understands what I think. I am still in school, but supporting each other is not difficult. I have reached marriageable age, and I can endure the outside world's criticism. Will you choose him without hesitation? Nathan presses. I know it is too early to gamble everything, and the time for a final decision has not come. Even if we eventually separate, that choice must remain in my hands, not happen because he acts alone. Therefore, I will never accept the Zhang family's unreasonable condition. We are discussing a project. If you dislike the cooperation terms, both sides can continue negotiating. Refusing firmly, I keep my voice cold. If marriage enters this negotiation, we have nothing left to discuss. The family negotiator raises his brows, clearly intrigued by my answer. Lu Ruyan, you are still too young and immature. You do not understand what is at stake. Do not worry. Give me an answer after thinking slowly. When will you figure it out? When will you sign the contract? The room falls into a stalemate. A knock breaks the silence and Luke enters before hurrying to Nathan's side. Leaning close, Luke whispers, Master Chen has arrived. In the meeting room, Ruby's gloomy face brightens. She tells Nathan, there is nothing more to discuss. I choose Adam. I do not care who he is, I only care about him. Sounding victorious, Ruby orders Luke, see our guests out. She turns and leaves without looking back. Nathan watches the change in attitude, unable to react for a moment. The reversal is almost absurd. The strangeness catches up with him. Nathan turns to Luke. Why have you suddenly stopped cooperating? Luke lowers her eyes and smiles respectfully. Compared with the Zhang family's chip technology, the young master is more valuable. At that moment, I sit quietly in the president's office, dressed in simple casual clothes that make me look slimmer. My long legs overlap loosely on the sofa as I sip black tea. When someone enters, I set down the cup, stand, and extend my hand with a gentle smile. Lu Ruyan looks at me brightly, affection turning in her eyes. My gaze becomes so obvious that I have to restrain myself even while speaking. I arrive just in time and ask, can Adam put out this fire? Ruby grabs my hand, pulls me onto the sofa, and pretends to be wronged. It is literally life-saving. They force me to marry Adam. Come any later, and everything is lost. I wrench my hand free. To hell with childhood sweethearts. Did you plan to compromise? Lu Ruyan immediately chokes, then raises 3 fingers. Heaven can witness this. My conscience is clear. That is absolutely not what I meant. I raise my eyebrows. Then what did you mean? She purses her lips, takes my hand again, and cradles it in her palm. I only wanted to act spoiled with you. I narrow my eyes and tease her with open disgust. I tease Ruby. You've become naughtier lately. She chuckles. Adam is about to graduate. I need time to adjust before changing relationships. Stop talking so much. I came to discuss cooperation, and I even prepared the contract. Afterward, I happened to be visiting your uncle and aunt in the hospital. Rueming Technology has pursued chip research and development since its establishment. Only an hour earlier, the new chip test succeeds, making it fully capable of replacing the Zhang family's product. I rush over with the contract so Li Rian cannot be controlled by marriage terms. Once cooperation begins, both of us become serious, each representing a family and refusing to yield over even minor benefits. After an hour of verbal disputes, we finally negotiate the terms and sign a new contract. The contract is signed. Young master, what should we eat for lunch? Once work ends, Lu Rian returns to normal and affectionately rubs my head. I slap her hand away and glare. After tying up my hair, I say, tell me what you want, but do not ruin my hair. I want beef brisket noodles. Then I will take you for beef brisket noodles. We enter the elevator together. An employee meets us downstairs and greets me respectfully, calling me Mr. Chen. I cannot help sighing with melancholy. Lu Ruyan pinches my face and asks, what is wrong? When will I become the boss? Investments earn praise, but I am no true boss. Because of changes in her family, Lu Ruyan is forced to become president. I do not envy her. I only want to become a genuine Mr. Yi, build enough capital, and stand proudly before Grace instead of remaining a toy for her amusement. A small favor can take me away, but Lu Ruyan laughs softly. My wish is still simple and unpretentious. Apart from making money and building a career, nothing else occupies my mind. The more Grace suppresses me, the harder I climb. I learn investment, gather connections, survive failure, and become braver. This is the version of me she likes, whatever my name is, always the boy she wanted. The rain grows heavier, but my mood does not change as I settle into the passenger seat. My friend draws my suspicious stare. Can you really drive? You will not throw me out halfway, will you? Lu Rian laughs. You will know whether it works. I stare at her speechlessly because the answer sounds dangerously ambiguous. I am still a simple boy. She reassures me, do not worry, I have driven for more than a year. Lu Ruyan leans over and fastens my seatbelt. I joke, you are definitely worse than Adam. He can drive his car into a banquet hall, but I do not have that much courage. I cannot help laughing at how difficult it is to find someone equally reckless. After that night, Adam does not come looking for me. He goes to Chengdu for a competition and reportedly wins a second-place national award last year. Adam has many fans in the racing circle, and this time he is invited to make an appearance. Adam has been rebellious since childhood and refuses to follow rules. The Mu family wants him to study finance for the reputation of a wealthy household, but he goes against their wishes. He grows up racing, gets a driver's license, buys a supercar, and drives into the city center at 150 miles per hour. The fine is thicker than a dictionary. After being reprimanded more than a dozen times, Adam runs away to race cars. He races against several rich heirs on Chu Mingshan, earning a notorious reputation throughout the Golden Circle. He speaks without restraint, and people use him as a negative example. I am unlucky enough to be caught racing by him and forced into the passenger seat. The mountain curves are already dangerous, yet he drives even faster. That time, I nearly plunge over the cliff and lose my life. Although I survive, I become so frightened that I refuse to ride in a car for an entire month. I always think Adam is insane. As long as you are not afraid of death, fine, but do not drag me to die with you. Despite everyone's opposition, he later becomes a professional racing driver and wins many tournaments. The family refuses to recognize Adam's honors, treating them as proof of his stubborn rebellion. He resembles a desperate gambler, using his life to resist Mu family's arrangements. There is no guarantee he will return safely. Remembering how I survived, I decide to stop worrying about him. Lu Ruyan curls her lips, understanding that my harshness hides no concern. I really hate Adam. Without heaven's mercy, I would have died by his hands long ago. Lu Ruyan assures me that work will not make me fall behind. She arranges everything so examinations are not missed, and the drive remains smooth rather than fast. Soon, we arrive at the noodle shop near the elementary school. The shop is called Niu Ki, and I love its beef brisket noodles. After school, I never want to return home and face my two troublesome sisters, so I always fill my stomach here first. Even after graduating from elementary school, I sometimes miss this taste and drag Lu Ruyan along with me. As soon as we enter, Lu Ruyan calls toward Felix. Uncle Felix, 2 bowls of beef brisket noodles. Felix smiles and answers, okay. He drops the noodles into the pot, cooks them, and looks over warmly. I have not seen you for a long time. Felix asks where I attend school now and whether I am still in the city. I tell him next year's plans remain uncertain. I smile brightly without any airs. The noodles finish quickly, beef brisket goes on top, and Felix brings 2 steaming bowls over. Felix places the bowl without chopped green onions in front of me. Yours is without green onion. I remember all of this. How could I forget? You once forgot to tell me, and this girl picked every piece out for you. It is rare to see such a considerate girl. I purse my lips, my ears turning crimson, and say nothing. I stir the beef brisket juice into the hot soup. I bite noodles as my phone suddenly rings. The tense mood at home reaches me through the call and my ears turn warm. I listen without speaking, sensing trouble with my family. At home that morning, Grace arrives just after Amy's brother leaves on business. Chloe stares at the tall, aloof woman in a tailored suit, stunned less by surprise than fear. Grace's face is cold and unreadable. Her deep gaze feels dangerous, and her mere presence fills the doorway with pressure. Ryan and Amy both freeze over their breakfast. Both remain stunned. Grace has chosen the exact moment Amy's brother is away, so her intentions cannot be good. Chloe's voice trembles. Are you looking for him? He just went out. Grace's terrifying aura leaves everyone too afraid to make even one mistake, yet her expression stays perfectly calm throughout. Grace fixes her gaze on Amy. My business is with you. Amy sets down her chopsticks, signals Ryan to take the dishes away, then rises and pats Chloe's shoulder. With a soft smile, she lets her mother retreat to brew tea. Unbowed, Amy smiles. Please come in, let us sit and talk. Grace steps inside, her delicate face still cool and composed, and surveys the renovated little home. It is clean, tidy, and prettier now, yet she finds it absurdly small, not even matching the size of her private cloakroom at the Mew residence. No wonder he has money, yet never buys himself decent clothes. There is nowhere to keep them, especially with 5 people sharing this cramped home and its poorly circulating air. Grace settles onto the tiny sofa, her long legs making it look even tighter. Chloe eagerly serves fresh tea, though her smile is awkward. Grace inspects the glass and judges the household's hygiene acceptably clean. Still, the tea itself is awful, worse than any outside restaurants. The water is certainly no mountain spring. Grace stares at the cup without touching it, and Chloe grows increasingly nervous. A wealthy family's eldest daughter is clearly difficult to serve. Amy glances at her parents, signaling them to sit and rest while she handles Grace alone. Turning back to Grace, Amy remains scrupulously polite. Ms. Mu, you arrive early and wait until my brother leaves. You clearly are not here merely to visit. Grace gives her a weary look, recognizing that Amy is clever. Since the point is already exposed, she abandons any attempt at circling around it and states her demand plainly. You people name a price. He is coming with me. Everyone freezes. Grace is offering money to take Amy's brother away. Ryan and Chloe's restraint vanishes, their courtesy toward Grace instantly turning cold. A few filthy millions cannot grant anyone the right to snatch away their precious son, as though he were merchandise. Grace treats him like a shop item with a marked price, claiming concern for his life while speaking only of money. Chloe's anger finally shows. The Yi family will never sell our son. Grace's offer humiliates the whole family and insults him personally. Grace remains completely unmoved beneath Chloe's open and unmistakable anger toward her. Her voice stays level. Since childhood, he has had abundant food and clothing. His bedroom alone exceeds 70 square meters, with a private cloakroom and 2 servants. A 5-star chef prepares every meal, and a dedicated car and driver handle every trip. What can he gain here? What can you give him? Chloe is immediately rendered speechless. Grace presses on. Take 50 million. The bank interest alone will support you for life. Ryan's face pales, but he refuses. We want none of your dirty money. Not even 500 million changes this. There is nothing to discuss. He is our precious son, beyond comparison with your stinking cash. Ryan stands firm. We only just found our flesh and blood. Nobody takes him away, Grace counters. If you truly care, can you bear watching him suffer here? Keeping him only preserves the resources he brings, introductions to powerful people, and money for renovating your house. Her words show no mercy. Then he finds jobs for you as well. He has already given enough. Do not be greedy. 50 million buys out these worthless family ties. Furious, Ryan slaps the table and rises. Your identity means nothing in my home. Get out right now. Taking him away is only a dream. Grace does not waste another word arguing any further with him. She removes a 50 million check from her bag, places it elegantly on the table, then rises and leaves while Ryan seethes with rage. Ryan snatches the check, tears it to pieces, and hurls them at Grace's back. The paper lightly strikes her, stopping her for a heartbeat. You truly do not know what is good for you. Chloe pats Ryan's back to calm him, glaring after Grace with obvious resentment, while Amy pauses in thought. Amy gathers the check's pieces and throws them away, then races outside and calls after Grace beneath a large tree. Miss Moo, there is something left to say. Grace slowly stops and looks back, her face as cold as ever. Watching Amy run closer, she commands, state whatever remains. You... Amy catches her breath and restores a proper smile, displaying none of her parents' anger. She stands remarkably calm before Grace, showing no obvious hostility at all, even now. Whatever education your family provided, my brother remains polite and distant. Whether he accepts us or not, this family will never sell a son for glory. Her lips remain gently curved. If he willingly chooses to leave with you, there is nothing more for us to say. But you came while he was away, so clearly he refuses. Stop wasting effort on this family. Grace's expression never shifts. Have you finished? Amy's smile softens. One last thing. Thank you for caring for him during those 17 years and for still caring whether he is happy. From now on, my brother will be well cared for. Grace's pupils tremble slightly. Her answer comes soft and quiet. You had better keep that promise. Grace turns away without another glance. Once inside the back seat of a luxury car, she calls Frank and swipes to connect. A clear voice gloats. Let me guess, Miss Mew. You failed and could not take him away? Frank rushes on. Wait, why are you so impatient, Grace? We have barely dealt with each other, but when it comes to taking him away, our goal is the same. Grace's patience breaks. She disconnects at once, leaving Frank silent on the other end. Elsewhere, Frank frowns, then angrily hurls the phone onto a sofa. Grace is unbearable. While chatting with fans, I suddenly receive an unknown call and answer, hello. Frank's furious voice bursts through the receiver without warning. This lady is enraged. Grace dared hang up on me. I roll my eyes. You called only to complain? Afraid I will hang up too, Frank quickly blurts. Grace just went to your house. I frown at once. Grace seeking out the Yi family can only mean serious trouble. My suspicious friend scoffs. How would anyone know? Had you gone stupid? He explains that the eldest daughter turns their lives into a spy drama, planting watchers around him while he places informants beside her. Lowering my voice, I ask, do you know what she said? My suspicious friend shakes his head. Who knows? If she comes forward, nothing good will happen. Grace fires back, calling me a useless spy who only phones with bad news. You are too heartless, right? I tell the truth. How long do you plan to keep playing civilian games? Then Grace makes the offer plainly. If you do not want to go abroad with me, just come with me. She promises to give me everything he can, and even more. I raise my eyebrows slightly at that claim. She says playfully, he wants to marry me. I stare. Has this woman lost her mind? The revelation jolts me upright. Grace wants to hide the toy he has cherished for more than 20 years and keep it for herself. I mutter, Grace can return and settle the score with him herself. The phone beeps, then disconnects immediately. I calmly place it back on the table. The two troublemakers are fighting each other, so I am perfectly happy to stay out of it. Ruby props up her chin, studies me, and finally asks what is happening. Ruby looks at me across the table. Grace wants to marry you, and I do not deny it. The Jiang family used cooperation to force you into an engagement with Adam. She continues, explaining that Grace used this situation to ask Ruby to give me up. Ruby says Grace wants her to follow Adam honestly. Thinking about it carefully, she seriously doubts that Grace secretly gave the Jiang family such a damaging move. Ruby can only laugh at the thought. Grace has stayed inside the golden circle too long, and her thinking has been assimilated by her family. Everything you do is about profit. Of course, marriage can also become business. No matter what feelings you have for me, as long as you keep me firmly by your side, that is enough, even though we have been siblings for 17 years. Ruby admits that even with the 10-year age difference, Grace genuinely cares about her. Grace is hard-tongued but soft-hearted, yet the family never respects Ruby's wishes. They keep forcing her to do things in the name of helping her, including everything she dislikes. So I do not like Grace at all. It will not taste good when it gets cold. Adding food to my noodle bowl, I notice my friend's care in every small detail. Her patience slowly opens my heart. Lunch ends happily before she drives me to the hospital. The nearly empty top floor contains more than a dozen wards, yet only the last room is occupied, leaving the corridor quiet as a pin drop. Few people pass through here on ordinary days. Caleb and Elena lie on adjacent beds, and Ruby checks each parent's condition immediately after entering. After I question the caregiver, the nurse repeats the doctor's exact words. The condition still has not improved at all. Hearing that, I can only sigh silently. Standing silently beside my friend, I say nothing. Every visit to this hospital weighs heavily on her. More than a year ago, her family drives home after celebrating her coming of age. An out-of-control truck hits them beyond the highway, sending their car spinning through the air before it crashes into a thick tree trunk. The ambulance arrives in time and takes them into emergency surgery. Their vital signs stabilize at least, but the doctor still does not know when either one will wake. Since then, Caleb and Elena remain in a vegetative state. More than a year passes without any sign of waking. Ruby asks Owen to leave and wait outside. Ruby wants to stay alone with her parents for a while and quietly accompany them with everything in her heart. Owen nods and turns away. After the ward door closes, only the two of us remain, while their lives depend on infusions. Their bodies receive too little nutrition, and they have not exercised for a long time. Their muscles gradually degenerate and atrophy, while Elena's face loses the smoothness and elasticity it once had. Watching everything, I sigh helplessly. Aunt, please wake up soon. How can you bear leaving my friend alone? Ruby is only 19, an age when she should be free and unrestrained. Instead, she faces man-eating wolves, tigers, and leopards in a forbidden pen, forced to carry an entire group while countless eyes stare at her from the darkness. So many people want to use the chance to trample Ruby into the mud and divide the resources accumulated through loss. Even those shameless people dare to set their sights on her marriage. They talk about cooperation, then use a marriage contract to force Ruby to submit. If her parents do not wake soon, how can she deal with those old foxes carrying such vicious intentions? Beside my friend, I wonder, can I stand beside her? Then Elena's fingers seem to move. I tell Ruby immediately, because whether I see it correctly or not, it becomes hope for her. Ruby drops the towel, throws open the curtain, and rushes to her mother's bedside. She grips Elena's cold hand and stares at her sleeping face. Can you hear me? Wake up quickly. Open your eyes and see whether I'm okay. Ruby's eyes suddenly turn red, but Elena gives no reply. My nose stings as I put down the warm towel and hurry outside the ward. I am going to bring Owen over for another examination. Ruby sits beside the bed in despair, clutching Elena's thin hands. Please wake up quickly. I will never quarrel with you again or make you angry. You said my handwriting was ugly, so I practice calligraphy every day. Ross says my handwriting is better than my father's now. Ruby squeezes Elena's hand and pleads, can you get up and take a quick look? Hurrying back with the physician, I hear my friend's pitiful words and feel my eyes moisten. She is decisive and formidable in business, yet she remains only 19. Beneath that strength, she longs for a mother's love while carrying the entire group alone against ruthless enemies. Why would Ruby not want a warm home to shelter her from the wind and give her rest when she is tired? Instead, that safest haven becomes a lonely broken ship on the sea. Her parents remain unconscious in hospital beds, and she constantly fears that a huge wave will overturn the only place she has left. Owen examines Elena carefully. Under my friend's expectant gaze and mine, the doctor sighs helplessly. The doctor answers quietly, it is probably an unconscious nervous twitch. Her waking time remains uncertain. The doctor leaves one fragile possibility. She may open her eyes tonight. She may also wake much later. He stops there, but his meaning is clear. Her family must prepare for the worst. She may never awaken. After seeing him out, I return. My exhausted friend rests against my chest. Against my chest, my friend trembles uncontrollably. Terror grips her entire body. She fears losing her mother forever. Pressing my dry lips together, I swallow every useless comfort. Words seem unbearably hollow now. Instead, my arm circles her waist. A steady hand repeatedly pats her shaking back. My embrace offers the little warmth available. Soon, her tears soak through my shoulder. The pain in her heart reaches mine. After a moment, my voice emerges hoarse. Should we ask the hall master to come? Her arms tighten around my body. That desperate grip reveals her inner struggle. Keeping my voice soft, I reassure her. Do not carry every worry. I will find a way to invite the hallmaster. By evening, I serve as her family's chauffeur. My exhausted friend sleeps with her head on my lap. She remains asleep throughout the journey. Meanwhile, I call the hallmaster over 12 times. None of the calls connects. We reach her residence without trouble. Quietly, I stay until her breathing becomes peaceful, then leave. Alone, I take a taxi home. The atmosphere there feels equally troubled. My sister has returned from filming. Dad remains inside his room, bored and withdrawn. That unease begins with an eldest daughter's uninvited arrival. Since dawn, the rain grows steadily heavier. White mist swallows the entire city. No trace of sunlight breaks through. At 7, the sky resembles early morning darkness. My sister spends the night turning restlessly, unable to sleep. A faint sound from the living room wakes my sister. She rises and reaches her doorway. There, she sees me close the front door. After I leave, she hurries toward the window. Thunder shakes the glass as she opens it. Through the rain, my figure appears below. From the window, my sister watches me carry an umbrella. I hurry toward the community gate. A familiar commercial car waits outside. Despite the renewed downpour, I climb inside alone. She wonders where I am rushing so early. Inside the car, I casually set down my umbrella. Then I brush rainwater from my clothes. Turning forward, I give the driver an order. Take me to Qingfeng Hall immediately. He starts the car without delay. Soon, my friend calls. Are you awake? She asks. Warmth enters my answering voice. My dark mood must not burden her. After a long pause, she speaks again, sounding worried. My friend finally voices her conflict. I want my parents awake soon. Still, I cannot make this harder for you. Go there, but stop if nothing works. Do not push yourself too far. Keeping my tone relaxed, I comfort her. Do not worry. The hallmaster taught me. Even if he rejects me, a doctor should still save lives. Silence follows from the other end. My friend understands how completely that relationship shattered. She remembers our unbearable public confrontation. Before everyone, my angry declaration ends everything. From today, I sever our bond as master and apprentice. My friend steadies herself before answering. I understand the company's situation. Leave everything there to me. Travel carefully. If the hallmaster refuses you, do not force matters. I will find another way to invite him. After the call ends, my body sinks against leather. Closing my eyes, I release a deep sigh. The doctor's words return relentlessly. Her parents remain unresponsive. Nobody knows when they will awaken. At first, their condition seems less severe. Perhaps several peaceful months of sleep will restore them. Yet over half a year passes without improvement. Every day, my friend worries about her parents. She must also battle ruthless executives at work. Watching that burden, I begin contacting the hallmaster myself. Every attempt ends in failure. I visit shamelessly and send sincere apologies. Still, the hallmaster gives no response. The hallmaster stubbornly refuses every meeting. Yesterday, her parents look noticeably worse. Their condition now suggests death could come any time. Even the examination results warn their family. Everyone must prepare for permanent loss. How can I watch my friend lose her parents? Indifference is impossible. Outside, heavy rain engulfs the city. Poor visibility turns the road into a blur. For safety, the driver moves slowly. Nearly 90 minutes pass before Qingfeng Hall appears. As we stop, the driver prepares to accompany me. Raising one hand, I stop him. Stay inside and wait. Then I take the umbrella and step out. Violent rain immediately defeats its cover. Cold water floods my shoes within seconds. Rain soon soaks most of my trousers. Wind drives more water beneath the umbrella. Across the broad street, terrible weather keeps every pedestrian away. The entire road stands deserted. Qingfeng Hall's front door remains firmly closed. Visitors are clearly unwelcome today. Facing the imposing redwood, I breathe deeply. Calm returns slowly. Then my hand strikes the heavy metal knocker. Through the rain, I shout toward the hall. Hallmaster, your apprentice requests a meeting. Please show mercy and receive me once. Heavy rain swallows my voice completely. Refusing discouragement, I strike the knocker repeatedly. Between each blow, I shout, your apprentice requests an audience, hallmaster. Time loses meaning while I remain outside. At last, the heavy wooden door opens slightly. A plainly dressed assistant stands behind it. Her high ponytail matches her distant expression. She speaks without warmth. The hallmaster refuses to see you. Please return home. Her hands begin closing the door. No hesitation softens her movement. Before it closes, I force through sideways. The assistant shuts the outer door and follows quickly. The hallmaster refuses you, she warns. Several plainly dressed disciples rush after her. Several disciples block my path toward the hall. They once trained under my guidance here. Now their bodies bar the entrance. Not even one allows me inside. Clearly, the hallmaster refuses every meeting. Rain pounds my umbrella like thunder. Facing the disciples, I bite my lip. Then I close the umbrella, bend both knees, and kneel. Rain instantly drenches every layer of clothing. Wet hair clings against my pale cheeks. Tears blend invisibly with the cold water. Raising my voice, I call toward the main room. Your apprentice knows his mistake. Please meet me once, master. Before the hall, several disciples exchange uncertain glances. None knows how to answer. Still, I remain kneeling beneath the relentless downpour. From the doorway, the assistant studies my thin figure. Pity overcomes her hesitation. She turns and rushes inside with a message. Hallmaster, your former apprentice is kneeling outside. This rain will make him ill. Please see him once. At his desk, the hallmaster continues practicing calligraphy. Every stroke lands powerfully. His writing looks sharp and graceful. Wet ink darkens the brush above its stone. Dave speaks casually without looking up. Let him kneel. Did I really think Qingfeng Hall was somewhere he could come whenever he wanted? Outside, numbness creeps through my legs. Pain throbs inside both knees. The hallmaster expects my eventual surrender. Inside, his assistant hesitates before speaking again. Hallmaster, he truly needs help. Please reconsider. Whatever brings him here must concern someone's life. The assistant continues pleading. Please show mercy and meet him. Few patients seek us today. Dave answers with contempt. I only save those who are sincere. Ross follows the trend and abandons justice for profit. He places the brush heavily back onto its holder. Ink splashes across the table from his brush. Anger burns in the hallmaster's eyes. Then he studies his fresh calligraphy. New bamboo rises through old bamboo's support. The words cool much of his fury. Only deep resentment remains, stubbornly refusing release. Ambo N2, Cree-trade number. Ambo 2 in the Vol's book, with entai the creatures and the facts the concentrated of the undo, white, straight. The hallmaster slowly rolls up his calligraphy. His hoarse voice gives one order. Never let him enter. Reluctance and loneliness strain every word. Beneath them lies disappointment in his former apprentice. Nearby, his assistant understands the pain behind that decision. Further persuasion cannot untie this conflict. The assistant accepts his final decision and returns outside. Facing me, she delivers it plainly. The hallmaster will not see you. Leave now. Kneeling here changes nothing. Water drips from every part of my body. Cold forces my frame into violent shivers. My teeth already chatter together. Despite everything, I keep my back straight and remain kneeling. No hardship or contempt can turn me away today. The hallmaster must treat my friend's parents. Looking at his assistant, I make my position clear. Please tell him I will keep kneeling until he sees me. She releases a heavy sigh. Why torment yourself like this? Hazel recalls my departure from Qingfeng Hall for power. Dave pleads, but I refuse to turn back. I sever our master-disciple bond myself. Her reminder wounds Dave deeply. Hazel warns, even if you kneel until your legs break, Dave will never see you again. My lips stay bloodless. I cannot refute her. 5 years ago, I am cruel and heartless. I personally end my bond with Dave, turn away, and leave Qingfeng Hall without hesitation. No matter what the reason is, the truth remains undeniable. I lower my head toward Dave and admit, I am sorry, master. I failed the painstaking efforts you devoted to me. Wrong is wrong, and I have no excuse. No matter how much I explain, it is only sophistry to you. The most important thing now is to apologize sincerely. I beg for your final forgiveness. My body is so weak that every word leaves me nearly breathless. Rain steals my strength, so I pause before shouting again. Then I cry, I know I am wrong. Please see me. Upstairs, a window opens slightly. Dave watches through the rain, his cloudy eyes reddening. As Dave's first disciple, I am the child he watches grow. Now I kneel before Dave in heavy rain, reduced to an unbearable sight. Pride hardens me from childhood. I never bow, and I barely understand human warmth. Among people, I calculate every choice by its benefit. Choosing by self-interest, I remain wary of every kindness. 5 years ago, the elder sister forcibly takes me home and ends my medical studies before I can resist. Dave understands Grace's purpose clearly. She wants me home and refuses to let me continue studying medicine. Born into the family, I feel helpless, but the physician persuades me with complete sincerity. Dave begs me to resist the Mu family's arrangements, but I leave without regret. I threaten to end our bond, then return to wealth and chase power. Every word cuts the heart of the man who treats me like family. I weigh every advantage, yet I never count the physician's sincerity among my calculations. Now I abandon my pride, kneel before him, and beg for another chance. Perhaps his mentorship finally changes the cold heart I have guarded for years. Dave may teach my cold heart to recognize kindness. Outside, Gavin waits, then calls Ruby when I do not emerge. Inside Qingfeng Hall, an hour passes without Ruby or me leaving. Outside, Ruby's pen slips from her fingers and strikes the floor. Pain grips Ruby and an ominous feeling follows. She knocks, but Hazel answers, Thank you for visiting today. Please do not come in. From inside, Ruby hears me beg Dave for forgiveness. Ruby fears Dave still refuses to see me. In the heavy rain, I may be kneeling alone in the courtyard, soaked through. Ruby draws a cold breath and makes her decision. Turning toward the others, she orders, Tell me immediately if there is any news. Ruby decides at once. She says, I will rush over now before anyone can finish explaining. Inside the Lu Group meeting room, Luke opens the door and enters. Several shareholders already wait for Ruby to host the meeting. Luke tells Ruby, They are waiting for you to host the meeting. She bites her molars, trapped by the timing. Meanwhile, I kneel before Dave for hours in the cold. As consciousness fades, a familiar figure appears. I whisper, Master, I know I am wrong. My voice fades into breath. Dave closes his eyes and sighs. At last his heart softens and his body relaxes. Dave opens his eyes and says, Let's talk about it. Tears burn my nose. I answer, Thank you, Master, then push against the floor to stand. At Qingfeng Hall, Hazel raises an umbrella and approaches me. My body fails before she reaches me. The courtyard sways, my vision turns white and I collapse in the rain. Dave shouts, This unlucky child, quickly, help him to the east wing. In the Liu Group meeting room, shareholders wait for Ruby. Inside the Liu Group meeting room, Luke enters alone. His expression darkens as he faces Ruby's empty seat. One shareholder demands, "Where is Ruby?" Inside the meeting room, Luke wears a polished smile. He answers, "Ruby has an urgent matter to handle right now." Luke faces the shareholders and says, "Ruby cannot attend, so we will reschedule the meeting. Thank you for coming and for your hard work." One shareholder bristles and complains, "Ruby is too proud now. One call summons us, then she disappears after we wait. Does becoming CEO let that yellow-haired girl act without restraint? Does she still respect us?" The shareholders fill the room with resentment. One says, "Liu's success depends on our support. Now Ruby dismisses us whenever she pleases. One day, she may cross the river and burn the bridge." Luke keeps his professional smile despite the complaints. Addressing the room, he says, "Shareholders, I have good news. Liu obtains the latest chip technology, and the flagship phone will soon enter production." Luke adds, "Any shareholder who objects and wants to withdraw capital may do so." As the mentor's trusted confidant, Luke handles the room with practiced sophistication. Luke helps Ruby master Liu's affairs and enter the elite capital circle. Two calm sentences silence the noisy shareholders. Ruby and Rewiming now share the market's newest chip technology. The chip serves more than the flagship phone. Production starts immediately, while Liu's smart home products and cars adopt it soon. Liu can lead the industry, and its value rises quickly. Luke sees a chance to surpass a rival built over 6 generations. He challenges the room, who would withdraw capital at this critical moment? Which fool would do that? The moment Luke finishes, every disgruntled shareholder falls silent. No one dares repeat the demand for withdrawal. Inside the meeting room, silence settles. At last, one shareholder says softly, "Ruby has urgent business, so let us reschedule the meeting." One shareholder adds, "Notify us when Ruby finishes and call another meeting." The remaining shareholders follow him, rising with false smiles before leaving. Outside the meeting room, Ruby presses the accelerator and races toward Qingfeng Hall. Gavin reports noise, chaos, and my collapse in the rain. Ruby leaves the shareholders behind because nothing matters more than me. When I open my eyes, a delicate face fills my blurred vision. I notice the girl's sharp jaw first. The girl's sharp jaw looks dangerous enough for a security warning. I move my dry eyes and find Ruby beside the bed. Dave watches me. I whisper, "Master." Dave snorts, "Do not call me master, I do not have a disciple like you." Dave turns away and pretends to stay angry, but concern gives him away. Pressing my bloodless lips together, I lower my eyes obediently. The physician orders, "Change your words. Call me Hall Master, and stop shouting when you address me." Dave rises with both hands behind his back. He walks out and says, "What a heartless brat. I will see whether the medicine is ready." Before leaving, Dave orders, "Drink the medicine, then leave immediately." Hazel notices his mischievous expression beneath the false anger. Hiding nearby, I snicker until the hallmaster disappears outside. Then I walk to the table and pour warm water. The assistant tells me my friend has already described her parents' condition to the physician in detail. Ruby's cold face holds no joy. Pain fills her eyes as she regrets letting me ruin myself. Dave sounds harsh, but his heart remains soft. Hazel hands Ruby the glass. Ruby whispers, "Here, take it." I guide her hand to my mouth and sip slowly. The rain finally washes the stone from my heart. Excitement reaches my pale lips when Dave finally agrees to help. Caleb and Elena now have hope of waking, so Ruby may keep her parents. After half an hour, Hazel returns with my dried clothes. I change into tailored clothes and study the plain ones. I may never wear them again. The Vanity Fair judges every necessity, while the medical hall offers quiet indifference. That peace cannot satisfy my ambition for long. That simple life cannot satisfy me. Ambition still demands power, wealth, status, and fame. I keep climbing toward the top instead of hiding here as an ordinary physician. After thinking carefully, I admit the elder sister may be right to take me away by force. Grace's coercion cuts my contact with Qingfeng Hall, but returns me to my intended path. Hazel enters with the prepared Chinese medicine. Sighing softly, I hear the assistant say, "Drink the medicine and leave immediately." I have prepared 2 doses and your friend already holds them. Confusion crosses my face as I ask, "Is Dave willing to treat me?" Hazel places the medicine on the table. She explains, "Dave has calmed down. Different people follow different paths, so he forgives you as though you were never his apprentice." Lowering my eyes, I fall silent, then raise my head and finish the bitter medicine. After thanking the assistant sincerely, I leave with my friend. Upstairs, the physician watches our cars disappear and recalls what my friend told him 5 years ago. Grace personally comes to take me back and demands business studies. She threatens to erase Qingfeng Hall from the capital if I waste time there again. I know her cruelty well. Qingfeng Hall may disappear and Dave may disappear with it. I grit my teeth and compromise. He ends our long bond with heartless words, while I vow never to return. Ruby tells Dave about the pressure I endure. Weakness leaves me controlled everywhere, while 2 sisters challenge me daily. Learning I am not the Mu family's biological son forces me to earn every advantage. Growing under crushing pressure, I feel trapped in stone while still trying to break through. The physician begins as a mountain priest and teaches himself remarkable medicine. When floods strike nearby villages, he descends the mountain and saves lives. During the flood, Dave heals the wounded and rescues the dying. He meets me while I provide relief. Seeing my talent, he accepts me as his disciple. The flood spreads Dave's medical fame across the region. Those he helps join together and build quiet Qingfeng Hall for him. At Qingfeng Hall, Dave lives as a poor priest and rejects wealthy people's condescension. He values a simple life over worldly survival. Dave refuses hospital treatment and ignores powerful people's offense. Ruby's words show him that my world offers no freedom. He hates my coldness, though it protects me after more than 10 years. Dave decides, if our paths differ, we naturally cannot seek the same will. Let his little apprentice return to the right path. Then he wonders, Ross, are you a fool? Heavy rain beats down as I kneel there. Ruby looks young, beautiful, and tightly frowning. Ruby touches my feverish forehead. She pulls me close and asks, do you feel cold? Gently shaking my head, I nestle against my friend. Her faint lemon scent comforts me. The medicine helps, and years of judo make this illness easier to endure for now. Smiling, I insist, this illness is nothing. Her brows stay tense. Ruby pulls my cheek resentfully. She keeps her grip gentle because she fears hurting me. Ruby warns, do not force yourself. My hands circle her waist. Trust settles through my relaxed posture. I tell her, I have never felt care from my relatives. Continuing, I tell my friend, I do not want you to lose your parents' love too. Her eyes tremble. She has begged the physician for help, but his prejudice against wealthy people deepens because she knows me, the apprentice who betrayed him. Dave answers coldly, they are unconscious in the hospital, but currently face no danger. A vegetative state remains human life. They are not about to die, so seeking me accomplishes little. Dave adds, let the hospital doctors treat them slowly. Ruby keeps asking, but cannot enter Qingfeng Hall. Dave knows only Ross can invite him. Elsewhere, Chloe waits beneath one dim lamp before fetching warm water. When Chloe returns, she asks with quiet concern, how did filming go tonight? It is so late. Amy drops onto the sofa exhausted. Taking the glass from my mother, I drain it in one breath. Then I explain, the play has 2 night scenes and both filmed tonight. Chloe studies Amy carefully. After Amy lowers the glass, Chloe caresses her left cheek with sad tenderness. Chloe's eyebrows draw together. She asks, how did your face get like this? Chloe sees clear red fingerprints and recognizes a hard slap. Amy gently removes her hand and smiles. She says, it is fine, the role requires a serious look. It does not hurt. Seeing Amy's bruised cheek hurts Chloe deeply. She hurriedly searches the cabinets for ointment. Chloe finds the ointment and says, apply some, it will heal quickly. Otherwise, classmates may gossip tomorrow. She spreads the cold ointment across Amy's cheeks. The burning pain quickly fades. Remembering the rain, I glance toward Chloe. I ask, is Miles back yet? Chloe sighs softly and answers, Miles came back long ago. He went straight to his room and skipped dinner. He looked unwell, so I did not knock and wake him. Amy hears Chloe's answer and falls silent. Concern grows over where Miles hurried off today. My identity remains mysterious to them. Many questions stay beyond their right to ask. Chloe tells Miles to rest early. She guesses the rain caused his cold and plans to buy medicine tomorrow. Amy raises her head again and turns to Ryan. How does the interview go today? Chloe hurriedly sends her back. Go back. The rain is too heavy, so the interview moves to tomorrow morning. I will have your father drive you to school. If Ross still feels unwell, stop by his school and help him request leave. Chloe lowers her voice, ashamed. More than half a month after school begins, she still lacks my teacher's contact information. Chloe admits, I do not know whom to call for his leave. She must ask carefully tomorrow. Otherwise, teachers cannot contact the family during trouble. After a deep, restful sleep, I wake the next morning feeling much better. Only my voice remains slightly hoarse. My hands and feet feel stronger. I change into my Saint-Ouen uniform and wash. While I brush my teeth, Amy enters and checks my cold. She touches my forehead, then asks whether I feel dizzy. Amy touches my forehead and finds no fever. Relief finally softens her face. She asks, are you dizzy? Why not take today off? Toothpaste foam fills my mouth. I answer through it, no need. Amy sees my energetic expression and bright eyes. Relief finally leaves her shoulders. Offering a warm smile, I say, I feel fine. Dad interviews at the company today, then drives us to school. My younger sister hesitates before asking where I went yesterday. Her question sounds casual, but her eyes remain curious. Casually, I answer, it is only a trip for a friend. Amy wisely asks nothing more. Chloe serves ham-fried rice for breakfast. Though she plans to sell purple rice balls, she keeps our daily meals varied so nobody grows tired of them. Morning brings clouds, but the rain completely stops. This weekend settles Ruby's forced marriage, eases Dave's conflict, and brings him to treat Ruby's parents. Happiness fills me as I eat several more bites. Ordinary egg-fried rice suddenly tastes wonderful. Changing shoes, I prepare to leave. My father seems cheerful because the rain stops before his interview, and he calls it an excellent sign. Amy reaches the shoe cabinet first and claims the small bench. I rise while she struggles with her laces. She quickly pushes me down, crouches, and patiently ties them. Neither Mew's sister seems decent. I cannot predict which woman will win. Imagining the mastermind, I glare. I would slap that person twice. Are they treating my marriage like a game right now? Before I understand the situation, Henry calls with a report. The other Mew sister storms into Grace's office and punches her. Both women immediately begin fighting. Both Mew sisters now lie in the hospital. An ordinary fight should leave only a few scratches. Frowning after my informant's report, I wonder whether he has been bribed to stage this sacrifice. His lips twitch nervously. Master Ross, this is exactly what happened, he insists, his anxious face looking miserable before me. The other Mew sister rushes into Grace's office and grabs her collar. She lands a heavy punch on Grace's cheek and curses, "You annoying woman." She mocks Grace's dream of marrying me. Go on, keep dreaming. Even without a mirror, you should look at yourself. How could he ever like a boring old woman like you? Grace takes the punch and tastes blood. Something violent awakens inside her. She grabs a glass ornament and hurls it back. Grace demands, "You have the ability to act arrogant in front of me?" The other woman dodges quickly, but the ornament still strikes her shoulder. A fraction slower would have split her head. In the corridor, the woman sneers. You sound capable, yet you cannot persuade him. You use filthy tricks to force marriage. Have you no shame? The other woman snaps, my marriage is none of your concern. The woman snaps, you want him too. Grace curses, do not assume everyone is as filthy as you. The woman refuses to retreat. Forget marrying him. If he marries me, he can never marry you. Their quarrel becomes another violent exchange. One woman pins Grace down, then Grace reverses her. Soon, every office object lies smashed. Everything becomes a weapon. Employees gather outside, but nobody dares enter. Both women finally collapse helplessly. Someone then finds courage and calls an ambulance. The ambulance rushes both fighters to the hospital. Emergency treatment begins, and staff assess their injuries. The other woman's right hand is badly dislocated. An ashtray-like blow splits her forehead. Grace suffers a fractured left leg and deep cheekbone cut, plus bruises and blood. After hearing the whole story, I hold my forehead and sigh. Both women are reckless. Worse, they drag me into their fight while competing to marry me. Even while attacking each other, both women shout and curse over who gets to marry me. Many employees witness the entire scene. Online marketing accounts may soon publish the spectacle. Wealthy families provide endless material for outrageous rumors. Silence stretches across the phone before Henry speaks again. Henry finally asks cautiously, Master Ross, why not come over and visit? I cut him off. What is there to visit? Calming down, I study the situation carefully. The elder sister and her sibling clearly staged their office fight for me. They nearly destroy themselves publicly, yet the elder sister understands how badly the scandal damages her family. I end the call and keep thinking. Grace acts without considering the consequences. Can the other Muse sister really be foolish enough to follow her? The situation slips beyond control and drags me into public opinion. Those two women obviously toy with me. Within hours, the story reaches the top 5 searches and everyone discusses it. Rumors claim I love both Muse sisters. They say I fight over love and become a shameless family heir. What a ridiculous story. Everything races through Beijing's social circles and across the city. The rumors sound neat, logical, and deliberately planned. Amy clears her dinner plate while I call Shane. He answers instantly. Shane seems to handle the same mess, and his voice sounds cold. Amy ignores his tone and greets me gently. She asks, I heard about the trending story. How are you at school? Surprise shifts my eyes. She calls only to check on me. After half a second of silence, my tone softens. I reassure Amy, it's okay, my classmates won't believe groundless information like this. Amy immediately relaxes. You don't need to worry too much. She lets out a clear sigh of relief, obviously comforted by my answer. Amy continues warning me, if school becomes too chaotic, take a day off and go home. Do not let anyone wrong you. I hesitate, then ask, when you saw the hot search, did you have nothing else to ask me? I ask, why did the elder sister and her sibling fight over me? Do they really want to marry me? Did I plan this conspiracy? Amy chuckles softly through the phone. Of course I believe you. It's better that you're fine than anything else. Nothing else matters to me. Besides, isn't that what you said? Her blind trust leaves no room for suspicion. Laughing, I say, the two family sisters are both crazy. Ignore what they said. I have barely joined this family, yet my younger sister trusts me completely. That afternoon, I tell Amy, leave when school ends. I will return later, so do not wait for dinner. Amy warns me to stay safe. After I promise to message home, she says, I will meet you at the community gate. Despicable tricks keep appearing endlessly throughout Beijing's social circles. Everyone knows such tactics, so nobody is surprised. Outsiders especially enjoy wealthy family gossip. I merely smile instead of arguing with Shane. Then, I scan new messages in the Happy Family group. They have heard about the trending searches. Chloe worries about me and asks whether I need help. Neither pair blames me. I reassure them briefly. Pocketing my phone, I tell my friend, borrow your car after school and take me to the hospital. Shock crosses his face. He warns that paparazzi may watch every entrance, waiting for any sign of me. Shane stares at me. If you appear now, won't everyone know you still care about the two Mew sisters after leaving the Mew family? Smiling faintly, I say, I am only going to meet the paparazzi. My friend remains confused, but he respects my choice. After school, he drives while my female friend listens from the backseat and follows our conversation with my younger sister. Then she lifts her brows proudly at him. Ruby declares, "Nobody knows Ross better than I do." Shane clenches his fists. Anger hardens his face. Shane grabs my arm and firmly says, "No." He refuses to let the plan change. "Ross and I already made an appointment. I'll send him there myself. Brothers going to the hospital to cause trouble? How could I miss such a wonderful show?" Ruby shows no jealousy toward Shane. After all, the two of them have been playing together since childhood. She also knows Shane protects me everywhere. What reason could he have to target someone who treats me well? That settles it. Shane pulls me into the car and sits in the back while Ruby drives us smoothly to the city hospital. I ask anxiously, "How is Elena today?" Ruby glances through the rearview mirror and says Owen reports that her parents have remained unconscious for over a year. Ruby can only do her best and obey fate. Shane looks startled. "You invited Dave from King Fung Hall here?" Shane says Dave is mysterious. Even dignitaries struggle to meet him. After his grandfather dies, grief gives his grandmother tuberculosis. Shane's family visits King Fung Hall repeatedly, but Dave never appears. Later, Shane brings her himself. Dave finally agrees to treat her. Half a month later, Shane's grandmother recovers. Nobody sees Dave. Shane delivers expensive gifts on his family's behalf. Dave now leaves the mountains to treat Ruby's parents personally. Shane calls it an extraordinary honor. I answer him indirectly. Answering calmly, I say, "The physician's acupuncture can revive the dying. Their condition will improve gradually." My friend hums softly beside me. More than anything, I hope Ruby's parents awaken soon. Even without moving, they can hear her speak. At dusk, colorful clouds redden half the sky. Our car stops outside the city hospital. Through the window, I spot several supposed passersby gripping cameras like waiting reporters. The watchers wait for news about me, not Grace or the other Mew sister. They secretly guard me, waiting for the male lead caught in this scandal. Ruby smiles inside the car. "I am waiting here. The scandal is already huge. If your childhood sweetheart appears beside you, I become its third female lead." Shane hooks an arm around my shoulder. "I will accompany Ross upstairs." Ruby waves him off. "Don't worry, Shane. Make sure your little bamboo horse stays safe and sound." I lower my eyes and chuckle. "Who said I was going upstairs?" Reminding them, I say, "I came to meet the hidden paparazzi. Those sisters' condition has nothing to do with me." Ruby leans against the window. "Ross, I'm watching a show." We step from the car. Their injuries mean nothing to me. Ruby rests a hand on the window. "Ross, I am watching a show." The disguised paparazzi spot me and raise their cameras. My steps stop before the stairs. I sweep them with a cold stare. The paparazzi panic and try to escape, but the chance is already gone. I call out, "Stop acting. Don't you need material? Hiding here to take pictures is boring. I'm standing right here myself, so why not come out and say hello?" A polite smile rests on my face. My presence remains untouchable. I am still the former young master. Paparazzi survive by hiding, so none steps forward. The scene turns quiet. Shane sneers beside me and raises his voice. "I know people at every media outlet refuse to greet us, and I greet your boss instead." Shane commands the paparazzi to gather before him. One pleads, "Master, we are only part-time workers. Please show mercy and stop making trouble." I add, "This has nothing to do with me." Shane raises a hand and stops their pleas. I say, "I only support my brother today." Everyone looks at me. I ask, "Does the magazine truly reject fresh news?" Several paparazzi start recording immediately. Some paparazzi film us. One shouts, "Master Moo," then changes course under my cold stare. He asks, "Mr. Yi, what do you think about today's searches? Will you choose between the two Moo sisters?" The reporter presses, "Will you choose one as your engagement partner?" I chuckle coldly. These reporters know Beijing scandals. They should know Grace, the other Mew sister, and I remain enemies. The reporter notes that I left the Mew family. I answer, "Must I marry an enemy to return to wealthy circles? I have done business for years, yet that sounds absurd." The reporter asks, "You came to the hospital specially. Wasn't it to visit the two ladies? Why are you interested in coming up with me to enjoy the spectacle?" At the reporter's question, the room falls silent. Coldly I say, "Their injuries mean nothing. I want those two cut apart with 1,000 knives." The capital's rumors suddenly seem true. The rumors call Grace, the other Mew sister, and me enemies. Now our hidden conflict becomes open warfare. We may never reconcile. The paparazzi find our meetings strange. Grace and the other Mew sister always fight the real and fake young masters openly. The conflict seems unbelievable. The paparazzi assume those two women make my life miserable. They call me foolish. I leave the Mew family, and our circles separate. Perhaps we never meet again. Still, they ask, must they destroy me completely? At dinner, Shane twists pasta while scrolling. He cannot understand my crime. He wonders whether I have disturbed both families' ancestors. Shane grows more confused. Why do Grace and the other Mew sister provoke me, then claim they want marriage? Do they think Ross is easy to seize? Shane grows angrier. He clicks his tongue and scolds those greedy women. After dinner, I drive Shane home. Ruby takes the back seat. Her classes and work leave little time for me. With Marcus and Elena unconscious, she treasures every moment together. Sitting beside my friend, I ease her tension. The carriage darkens, and a band of light sharpens her beautiful features. Her thin lips, straight nose, and firm jaw look striking, but fatigue remains visible in her eyes despite her composure. Ruby's beautiful face holds deep fatigue. Studying her eyes, I ask softly, "Have you been busy lately?" Ruby pinches her brows tiredly. Fortunately, Ru Ming's chip arrives in time. The board calms somewhat, but Ruby still faces Liu business and university. Her family suffers a major change. She cannot abandon school. Owen's help gives her time for difficult coursework. Studying economics at school, I help my friend manage her university courses. Years of early business exposure help me guide Ruby through every subject quickly, despite her work. After all, Marcus and Elena spend half their lives building the Liu family corporation. Concerned, I tell Ruby, Ru Ming's affairs leave little room for my interference. Rest more. Marcus and Elena remain unconscious. If you exhaust yourself too, who can lead the Liu family? Wealthy circles never lack people eager to exploit another family's weakness. Years in business expose me to countless underhanded schemes. Marcus and Elena establish the Liu family corporation, then ride the technology boom from a small company into a major group. Early investors become directors after contributing little. Now they bare their teeth and covet control. Those shareholders contribute little yet covet Liu's wealth. They want the chairman's seat and Beijing fame. After Marcus and Elena fall, Ruby alone supports everything. Many people want Ruby removed. Fierce competition encourages every rival to await Liu's collapse. She faces wolves alone. Liu Zhiheng wisely trains Xiao Nianqing as her assistant. Without Xiao Nianqing, Liu's family falls apart. 2 years ago, I learned I am not the Mu family's biological child. I establish Ru Ming technology with Ruby. I own 70%, Ruby invests 30%. This road supports us both. Technology advances quickly. Liu's family cannot prosper by standing still. Investing heavily in chip research, I use my technology company to preserve my standing in the capital's elite circles. Cooperation with my friend's family gives her a foundation there. Then the rival group suddenly develops a competing chip, changing everything before we consolidate our gains. Another accident strikes the Liu couple, forcing Ruby to take over early. Fortunately, our technology company is ready before the rival conglomerate seizes control. Our chip succeeds, and Ru Ming reaches an agreement with Liu's group. Ruby steadies the family struggle. She rests against my shoulder. I touch her hair. I should thank you. The Mu family leaves me without resources. I continue. I cannot establish myself in Beijing circles alone. The young master title makes me a puppet without control over my life. Grace and Ruby support me openly and secretly. Because of them, I meet powerful people, learn investing, and build my own industry. Without their support, exposure leaves me helpless before the real and fake young master scandal. Fate can push me anywhere. Then I add, this weekend, I visit Wade. Wade plans to go personally and invites Ruby along. After years secluded in the mountains, he finally returns to the city, so I must visit as his junior. Ruby says school may delay her until evening. Reassuring her, I reply, that is fine. Wade expects you for dinner anyway. Reaching dinner on time is enough. Ruby laughs when Wade comes to mind. Whenever we meet, he teases us and tries provoking some reaction. This time, his wish remains unfulfilled because Grace's injuries keep her confined to the hospital. The other Mu sister's arm stays bandaged. She also suffers a concussion. The biological young master regains composure and visits Grace's ward. Her leg rests in a cast. She still studies company files. Then he storms inside. The ward erupts. Everyone restrains him. Someone pleads, Grace and the eldest Mu sister are badly injured. Please release your anger now. The staff wait for Grace to leave the hospital. They need Grace to lead again. One person begs, if resentment remains, hit me instead. The biological young master ignores them and attacks brutally. The biological young master nearly paralyzes me. Grace closes her file and says, so what if I am paralyzed? He is only a brainless idiot. He learned that from you. He explodes. He charges for another fight. The others form a human wall. They plead, Grace's injury has not healed. Please stop acting rashly. Tears restrain him. He glares and says, for your sake, I stop this time. Compensate me. To my surprise, Grace agrees without hesitation. She turns coldly toward the employees and orders, you all go outside first. I will discuss the compensation with him alone. Everyone exchanges uneasy looks, but they obey and retreat. The ward door closes gently behind them. The biological young master's anger fades. He sits beside Grace. Mu Xuan appears and asks, have you found clues? I ask, Mu Xuan, can we obtain the paternity report between him and Isaac? His decision to seek out his relatives feels deeply suspicious. Quietly, I share my doubts with the family's eldest daughter and ask her to investigate. We watch him grow up, and neither of us allows outsiders to scheme against him. With so many unfamiliar people suddenly entering the family, I fear they may ruin the entire game. Grace has already sent someone to investigate carefully. I still cannot identify its issuer. Grace's expression remains calm, as if the matter does not concern her. The biological young master knows better. Even if the sky falls, Grace can stay perfectly composed. Still, I cannot ignore the problem. We have never seen that paternity test. I point out the opening. If we learn which hospital issued it, we can follow the clues. A trace of cunning appears in my eyes, making my meaning obvious without another explanation. I return home and turn over the files. Grace throws them onto the small table and says coldly, "The plot against the alleged young master has failed completely. My anger only needs a convenient target." Grace calls out, "Bring the doctor here. I want to complete the discharge procedures." I make an innocent gesture, then pick up the files from the table. I raise my voice outside the ward. "The eldest sister is badly injured, yet you still care about the company? You are not the Mew family's only daughter. Why should you decide the group's future? Your legs are useless, so lie here and enjoy yourself. From now on, I lead the group." Employees outside turn pale, and my heart races. Outside the ward, an employee panics. How can the group survive? Another employee warns, "I am afraid it will go bankrupt in less than 2 months." I stride proudly out of the ward with the files in hand. The staff rush inside and beg Grace, "Eldest lady, please do not let second lady interfere with the company. Thousands of employees depend on you. Please think of a solution, quickly." Grace only purses her lips and orders, "Go and help me complete the discharge procedures." One employee immediately agrees. "I will find a doctor right away and bring the wheelchair for the eldest lady." Another employee promises, "I will arrange a ride from a hospital immediately." Mushwan scratches his head, unable to understand why Grace stayed away from home so long after returning to the city. Inside the Mu residence, the biological young master sees opportunity in his proud sisters returning after their fight. Winning their affection and sincere approval could secure his place as the family's true heir. Then Ross might lose every remaining advantage. Imagining that future, he raises a carefully respectable smile. Yet his eyes reveal a little more ingratiation than before. He approaches briskly and greets them, "Eldest sister, second sister, how are your bodies recovering?" Grace gives him only a cold glance. She has no intention of making conversation with him. The special assistant immediately understands and pushes Grace straight back toward her room. Mushwan's smile stiffens. The same thing happened the last time, at the school gate. Grace looks only at me, completely ignoring her biological brother. He approaches and says, "Brother, it has been so long." Hands resting inside my trouser pockets, I answer with a lazy smirk and let open rebellion color every gesture. He quickly recovers from the awkward rejection. He curves his lips into a bright smile and says, "I am truly sorry about what happened at the last recognition party." I explain, "I have feared dogs since childhood. I did not reject your gift deliberately. It does not matter. I have already given the dog away." A sinister air always lingers beneath my eyes, yet I was born with a charming face that makes hatred difficult. Mushwan stares at me for a moment, almost stunned. He lowers his head awkwardly and says, "Second sister, please do not blame me. I have only just entered this upper-class circle, and I am still unfamiliar with everything. We have shared plenty of jokes before, and he decides that I look mischievous rather than difficult. He thinks I should be easy to get along with. Facing Grace directly is clearly worse, so he cautiously continues, "My parents often stay away from home, and my classmates do not seem to like me very much either." He adds, "Even eldest sister and second sister should not hate me." I curl my lips into a smile that is not quite a smile. Grace finally says, "Of course I do not hate you. You are our biological brother. Ross stays beside me for 17 years, so naturally I favor him. Still, blood makes you my brother. Learn what pleases me, and sooner or later, I may truly accept you." The biological young master's eyes brighten with sudden expectation. He asks Grace, "Second sister, is that true? Please help me." Grace warns him, "If I help you, he will only resent you more." After a deliberate pause and a playful smile, she continues, "But since you are my brother, I also hope you can join the family quickly. I heard you like collecting famous calligraphy and paintings." I mention, "I hear Wade lived in seclusion for years, then returned recently." Playing along, I continue, "Obtain one of Wade's paintings for Grace, and she will certainly reconsider you. Wade is China's foremost traditional painter, with tremendous standing throughout the art world." News of his return spreads rapidly, sending families across Beijing searching for his new address. Wade has lived in the mountains for many years, so wealthy families now rush to cross his threshold. They praise his art and admire his reputation, hoping they might obtain a few precious paintings or calligraphy pieces. The rarer and more expensive an object is, the more these people want it. Money no longer satisfies their vanity. Hanging priceless calligraphy and paintings at home displays refined taste while quietly revealing the family's influence. But Wade is my lifelong friend. If Mu Xuan desperately searches for his new home, only to be thrown out without mercy, the scene will be wonderful. This is already our third meeting, yet Mu Xuan has no idea what his mischievous second sister is really planning. Mu Xuan genuinely believes I am offering sincere advice. He nods happily and agrees. His face brightens with delight. He tells Grace, "Thank you, second sister. I will find Wade immediately." Once the biological young master leaves happily, my expression turns cold. He already admits that Grace dislikes him, yet believes my advice is sincere. What a fool. His intelligence falls far below mine. At the residence, Frank takes the bait and turns toward the waiting people. At the residence, the aide hurries over and whispers to the observer, "When the biological heir arrives, where is the paternity report?" Inside his room, Frank eagerly messages his confidant. "My eldest sister loves calligraphy and painting. I want to buy Wade's paintings for her. Do you think this approach is feasible?" Inside his room, Frank's confidant replies, "You must earn Wade's favor, or the biological heir may return and take your place. I will find Wade's new residence. Good luck." On Saturday morning, Frank dresses casually, packs his things, and leaves to visit Wade. Elsewhere, the family members remain busy. Amy hurries to the crew for filming, Ryan leaves early for work, and Chloe continues preparing her vegetable market stall. Since returning to the Yi family, I notice my parents and sister treat me with extraordinary indulgence. Their thoughtfulness carries a little distance, as though they fear restricting or disturbing me. I take the car keys and walk out. Amy changes shoes at the entrance, reminding me to stay safe on Shawshan Road before rushing toward the set. There are 5 final scenes left in this short play. I should finish filming within 2 days. I smile faintly. I answer softly, "Okay. Second sister, remember to rest properly on the set." Ryan's factory lies far away, so he drives Amy to the film and television city on the way. The crew has already parked downstairs and waits for her. Chloe, meanwhile, has received excellent stall feedback and now rises before dawn to prepare materials, leaving home long before anyone sees her. Once everyone leaves, the house suddenly falls silent enough to hear a pin drop. I take a deep breath, put on sneakers, pick up my coat, and head for Wade's new address. The nearby villa is an elegant 2-story bungalow called Jingwei Garden, named for its lush yard and 2 osmanthus trees. Wade's favorite Taishi chair also waits there, brand new after the previous one became too old. My own design becomes Wade's new backyard chair, perfectly placed for sunbathing. While noisy servants handle vulgar visitors in the front yard, Wade seeks peace inside a 3rd-floor room. Suddenly, an enraged visitor shouts from below, "How dare you stop me? Do you know who I am?" The intruder continues, "This young master is the heir of the Mu group. If the Mu family is offended, can servants like you afford the consequences?" Hearing that arrogant voice, Wade pauses his phone skit, rises, and opens the window slightly. Looking down, he sees a luxury brand boy with no princely bearing. Wade's eyebrows twist into a deep frown. Even in a dragon robe, this man would never resemble a prince. From the 3rd-floor window, Wade recognizes the biological young master who forces Ross away, trading a pearl for a broken fisheye. Isaac and the young man's mother truly seem blind. Downstairs, the household helper remains polite while addressing the visitor. At Wade's residence, the maid says, "The house is closed." Frank scoffs, "Can money fail?" In Wade's courtyard, Frank demands, "Show this young master respect. Make Wade come out immediately." His voice rises. The maid falls, scrapes her palms, then blocks him. Wade sees the commotion and wonders why his new home is so busy. At the courtyard, a familiar, cold voice reaches Frank. Visitors around him step aside, leaving a path. At Wade's courtyard gate, I appear alone. Frank stops. Frank stares at me like an enemy. "What are you doing here?" I laugh softly. "Of course I am visiting Wade." Frank folds his arms and sneers. "You want to cling to Wade? Poverty has made you insane." In the courtyard, Frank spits. "I wish the entire Yi family would drain you dry." Wade strides out, furious, points at him and shouts, "You ignorant brat, Ross is my old friend. How dare you judge him?" At the courtyard, Wade orders, "How can you be so presumptuous? Leave immediately." Frank retreats in embarrassment as visiting guests snicker behind their hands. Humiliated, he turns toward me and snarls, "You are only the Yi family's poor, fake young master." In the courtyard, Frank protests, "You humiliate me publicly. Just wait." Wade orders him out again. At Wade's courtyard, he snaps, "You are vicious. Leave and stop polluting my yard." Humiliated, Frank points at me, his eyes blazing, and screams, "Ross is a poisonous snake. He steals 17 years of my life and turns every classmate against me." Frank continues shouting, "What good could possibly come from associating with him?" His accusation inexplicably reaches me, so I raise my eyebrows innocently and walk toward him. "What you said is really funny. Was I so clever from the moment I was born?" I continue, "Did I climb into your bed, kick you out, and then get carried back to the Mu family in your place?" Facing the surrounding stares, I add, "Your classmates are innocent. You treat them like idiots and maliciously smear me. They simply avoid someone so calculating. Is that not normal?" Anger leaves the biological young master breathless and speechless. Relieved, I press him. "Go ahead. Answer me." Turning toward the guests, I say, "Wade and I are old friends. Insulting me is one thing, but publicly slandering this renowned master also insults every guest visiting him today." In Wade's courtyard, the visitors stop watching and condemn Frank together. Wade's words are hard to obtain. We all came to visit him. How can we stand by while he is slandered? Their voices rise, turning Frank into everyone's target as they drive him from the yard. Only in panic does Frank remember the purpose of his visit. He suppresses his humiliation, lowers his voice, and says, "Wade, my eldest sister admires your paintings. Please sell one to me. The price can be anything." Wade does not even bother answering him. Wade simply orders someone to drive Frank out. Seeing his anger, the other visitors respectfully say goodbye and leave as well. The maid closes the courtyard gate, then exhales in relief. What a difficult and unruly young master. He carries the Mew family title. Yet how did Frank find Wade's address so quickly? Someone powerful must be secretly helping him from behind the scenes. Wade turns around with a delighted expression and pulls me inside for tea. Frank's ability to locate the new address so quickly clearly proves that his hidden supporter is anything but simple. Wade smiles. "Ross, you finally visit these old bones." I smile, hand over the tea leaves, and say, "Wade, I heard you had just moved and had many things to arrange, so I brought some good tea to honor you." Wade's eyes narrow into happy slits as he orders the maid to boil water and prepare tea. The old man and I enter the tea room to reminisce. Watching Wade so joyful, the maid sighs, "I have not seen Mr. Wade this happy in a long time." I laugh softly, then look toward her scratched hand. "Did you hurt your hand just now?" I immediately say, "Go get the medicine box from home. I will give you some simple medicine." Flattered, the maid waves both hands and refuses, "That is unnecessary, there is no need to trouble you." She explains, "The skin was only scratched accidentally. I can disinfect it myself." I tilt my head with a clear smile and warn her, "Without proper treatment, even a small wound can become infected." I add, "If the wound becomes inflamed, what else can you do? Take good care of Wade. This young master is not frightening, is he?" Standing tall with a handsome face, Wade's features seem carved by heaven, and his smile curves his peach blossom eyes slightly. His warmth feels like sunlight, while his kindness carries an effortless aura that makes people happy from the heart. The maid cannot help staring blankly at me for a moment. I stay dazed for a long moment before fetching the medicine box. Iris, Wade's young servant, has met me several times, yet facing a handsome boy like me still makes her shy. Her cool, slender hand holds a cotton swab, and her face turns red as she applies the medicine. Iris watches me while thinking that this young master has perfect manners and an exceptionally handsome face. He looks like a pampered heir, yet carries no arrogance, remaining gentle and approachable. Wherever he goes, he becomes the focus, and she wonders whether future success might earn a few more glances. I calmly disinfect Iris's wound, and tell her, "Wade mentioned before that you really like making music. Casual topics keep enough distance without making our exchange awkward. As when I first enter the Yi family, I choose something harmless that lowers another person's guard. The silence never becomes uncomfortable." Iris finally relaxes and answers softly, "I quite like it." Iris admits, talent is probably still lacking. Several original songs are written and they are taken to record companies for interviews, but every selection ends in failure. I encourage her while finishing the bandage. Daring to try already takes courage. Success never comes overnight. When I first learned business, I also invest in plenty of losing deals. There is even a money-losing project in my hands now. Life is long, so keep believing. I return the medicine neatly to the box, then smile. Looking up, I assure her, "One day, you will succeed." Iris watches me with shining eyes. After draping my coat over one arm, I stand. Wade probably needs rest, so I should leave. Before leaving, I explain, "My company needs me. I will visit another day." Iris respectfully sees me out. The Liu Family Corporation and Ruiming officially begin their partnership. Both sides grow busy developing products and managing internal work, instead of leaving every responsibility to Ruby. At that same moment, Wade remembers seeing me exhausted 2 days earlier, dark circles beneath my eyes. As the person in charge, I still shoulder every responsibility. Watching my car disappear, Wade can only sigh deeply. Wade's experienced eyes see through countless people, and they recognize how smoothly I handle every situation. To Wade, I am polished from every angle, so flawless that no mistake can be found. Yet perfection itself sometimes becomes an unexplainable flaw. Grace appears precious and elegant on the surface, but beneath it lies complete paranoia and madness. After becoming familiar with me, Wade realizes that this defect comes from the Mu family. The Mu family's 3 children grow increasingly extreme, and Wade has always worried that the flaw inside me will take root as I mature. Before I completely lose my way, I meet the Yi family, whose warmth steadily changes me. I begin believing that I can become even more attached to the world. Elsewhere, Amy wears ancient costume on set, finishes her makeup and hair, then sits quietly while waiting for her part. The crew arranges 2 fight scenes for Amy today. They are not staged sword dances. The story requires her to be beaten for real. Reading the script, Amy silently sighs. If she gets hurt, her mother will surely feel sorry when Amy returns home tonight. A familiar voice suddenly reaches the set, and Amy raises her head in confusion. Shane appears with short hair and an energetic step, carrying 2 cups of warm milk tea. Amy hides the melancholy in her eyes and turns toward him with a gentle smile, while Shane prepares to explain his unexpected visit. Amy asks, "Why are you here?" Shane behaves naturally and answers with a bold explanation, "The winery is nearby." Shane explains that he sees Amy enter the yard and guesses she is filming there, so he stops by to visit. Although they have met only twice, he shows no restraint, handing her a cup with a smile. Milk tea is brought specially for you. Amy chuckles as she accepts the drink. Does this count as buying a ticket? If you are interested, stay and watch. The scene today is not very pleasant. Almost everyone in the scene is beaten by someone else, and Amy's role is no exception. Shane openly gazes at Amy, his eyes full of fascination. He smiles without hesitation and tells her, "It does not matter. You look beautiful, and even being beaten cannot make you anything less than beautiful." Amy lowers her eyes, embarrassed by his heated stare, and answers nothing. Soon, Fiona calls the actors to their positions. As filming prepares to begin, Shane sits beside the set and drinks his milk tea. Shane admires Amy's flower-like smile, but it disappears soon after. She plays the abused third female lead, while Tyler's character hurts her countless times. She treats him like a first love, and the script now requires Tyler to endure her attacks without fighting back. The sticks prepared for the scene are solid hardwood from top to bottom. Shane's eyebrows draw tightly together. He suddenly rises from his chair and demands, "What kind of scene is this?" The scene is presented as a short drama, yet Amy must be beaten with real swords and weapons. She is expected to endure everything without stopping halfway. Shane stares at the hardwood sticks, realizing that a reshoot could mean Amy gets beaten all over again. Shane anxiously jumps to his feet, records the scene, and sends the video to me. He remembers that I invest in this company. Even without deep feelings for Amy, he cannot watch his own family get bullied. I have just left the company and am preparing to find Shane for dinner when his message arrives first. My associate's message appears before I can send mine from the wine shop. "Look now, this is not acting. Someone is attacking your sister. He has a stick aimed at her knee." My heart nearly stops. I charge forward and wrench the stick away. Gripping the stick, I glare at the attacker. "Are you filming or murdering her?" Fiona leaps up, furious. Fiona snaps. "Filming is underway. Where do all these idle people come from?" Shane takes the stick from Daisy's hand and throws it onto the ground. Facing the set with open anger, he declares, "I want to see exactly what scenes you are filming." The wooden stick hits the ground with a dull thud. Fiona freezes, then rushes over to inspect it. She turns angrily on the crew and props department. What is going on? Why are moisture-damaged sticks being used? Daisy answers coolly, "Should acting not be truthful? This short drama costs plenty. Does everyone not expect it to build a reputation?" Daisy presses the point. Will this crew still make major productions later? Fiona tightens her lips, unable to answer. Reputation barely matters to her. Daisy's family carries too much influence. The wealthy third-generation heiress simply wants fame in the short drama world. Daisy plans to move from short dramas onto the big screen. This small crew cannot resist her, and offending her could endanger its future in both industries. When the atmosphere turns sour, Tyler approaches with reddened eyes, still half lost in his role. He stares at Daisy with open resentment. Tyler points at Daisy and accuses her. "You slapped Amy last week. This week, you bring solid wooden sticks. You are clearly targeting her." Daisy answers coldly, "So what if I target Amy? My father funds this show. I can act however I please." Shane carefully helps Amy up and gives Daisy a hard look. My associate steadies Amy and says gently, "Money never gives you the right to hurt someone." Fortunately, my associate intervenes in time. Otherwise, my sister's leg is ruined, perhaps worse than mine. The wealthy actress glares viciously at Amy, who bends over in pain. She snorts, "Do not expect to walk normally again. Still, you seem remarkably lucky in love." Daisy looks Amy over and adds, "It is a pity that no matter how beautiful she is, she still looks poor." The words barely leave her mouth before I rush forward like a meteor, snatch away the stick, and stare coldly at Daisy. My momentum forces her 2 steps backward. Lin Jingyao rubs her aching wrist, her brows drawing tight. Where did this arrogant guy come from? She glares at me, still refusing to back down. "How dare you attack me? Do you know who this lady is?" Her anger rises as she points at me. "Dare to offend me? My dad will never let you go." I remain indifferent, my voice turning cold. "I want to see how capable your family is. Show me your power here." Everyone falls silent, including Victor and Amy. Fiona hurries out to mediate. The director cannot afford to offend Lin Jingyao. He fears her employer may suddenly withdraw its investment and abandon the production. The company's senior management would question him immediately. Normally, a sensible person accepts such a powerful background. He assumes Ye Zixi is only working part-time and dares not provoke Lin Jingyao, but Ye Zixi has not even spoken yet. I step forward first, my voice cold enough to make everyone shudder. "My sister is being maliciously targeted on this set. If you do not give me an explanation, you are finished as the director." The director has no idea where I come from, yet the pressure around me makes him sweat coldly. He wonders whether he has offended another powerful figure. An embarrassed smile appears on his face as he lowers his voice and tries to persuade me gently. He clearly wants to calm this down. A crew member raises both hands and pleads, "Please calm down. She is the investor's daughter, and her family finances this drama. We are caught between you." Let us take Amy to the hospital first. The crew will cover every medical expense. I glance questioningly at my associate. At the production site, Victor shakes his head and messages the group. Who knows Ethan from the magazine company? Replies quickly fill the group, yet nobody recognizes the investor. Several members admit they have never heard of him, confirming his company holds little standing. My associate shakes his head again, so I pull out my phone and call a subordinate directly. The call connects almost instantly. Ignoring the polite greeting, I order, "The set management is deliberately mistreating my sister. Send me the investor's phone number immediately." Before the subordinate can respond, I end the call. Ending the call, I meet Fiona's astonished stare and say calmly, "Let me introduce myself again. I am Miles, the largest shareholder behind this production, and Amy is my biological sister." Fiona's eyes widen, her legs weaken, and she nearly collapses. The rumored owner is surprisingly young. He vaguely heard before filming that the major shareholder's sister had joined the cast, but no such person appeared there. He dismissed it as crew gossip. Now he realizes the big boss carries the Yi surname, while Lin Jingyao still has not understood the danger. She looks at me with open disdain. What can Yun Xuan's major shareholder do? Lin Jingyao straightens proudly, relying on her family's investment. This drama is financed by our Lin family. Our family has the final say on this set. I sneer. You are only an employee, yet you still talk tough. Tossing the stick aside, I advance step by step until she retreats. Turning back, I support Amy. Leave this matter to me. My friend also refuses to let it go. Amy always treats him with gentle consideration. Now she suffers for nothing, so I step forward as her brother. Facing powerful opponents, Fiona freezes and barely breathes. Coldly, I order Fiona, "Bring a chair." Fiona nods repeatedly and hurries away. She returns with the most comfortable special chair, while I support Amy into it. Amy looks up at me, still feeling dull pain but also warmth. She has never seen me so angry for her, and my defense proves that I truly care. At the production site, the efficient subordinate sends the investor's number almost immediately. Fiona, trapped between her superior and financier, remains silent. I expect this to be simple, and assume the worst outcome is losing some money. I dial Ethan's number, wait through the entire ring, and receive no answer. I call again patiently, but he still refuses to pick up. Just then, Victor seems ready to give up. Stopping my associate, I say, "Mercy is unnecessary now. Make her remember this, but avoid serious trouble." The actress cowers aside, yet refuses to yield. Pointing at us, she threatens, "Touch me and face the magazine company. My father runs it." My associate folds his arms and laughs. The daughter of one shabby magazine dares act important here? Her confidence nearly makes me laugh. Then perhaps I am the Jade Emperor. What a frog in a well. Ordinary people consider the Lin family wealthy, but its magazine company ranks near the bottom of real capital circles. Banning Daisy today brings me no meaningful trouble. Amy pleads, "Brother, stop. Magazine work may vanish. Let this go." She looks at me anxiously, afraid the matter will grow beyond control. I tilt my head slightly and raise my eyebrows, making my position clear. My voice carries absolute pressure as I face Lin Jingyao. "Come here and apologize to my sister." My warning is firm. This ends today. I never planned to use violence. We are law-abiding business people. I only meant to scare her. My associate understands my intent. Pampered since childhood, Daisy cannot endure apologizing publicly. She refuses outright and snaps, "Blacklist me if you can." At the production site, Daisy points at us, still depending on her father. "You two do not know how high the sky is. Wait for my dad to come, and I will make you pay." Even the medical assistant notices something is wrong. He recognizes that Victor and I are anything but ordinary, yet Daisy remains stubborn. None of it concerns him. At the set, the medical assistant disregards the bully's fate, even if the crew expels her. Kit in hand, he kneels beside the injured actress and asks, "Where are you hurt?" On set, the assistant offers treatment. The actress politely refuses. I glance from the furious Lin Jingyao to the attentive Zhao Lingzhou and roughly understand the situation. I have no interest in their messy love triangle. I only know my sister has been wronged, and I refuse to let this end so easily. Since Lin Jingyao refuses to apologize properly, I have plenty of ways to make her bow her head. Lin Jinhua has ignored my calls, so I decide to make his daughter call me herself while crying. I take out my phone and contact several friends, issuing a few concise instructions. Less than a minute after ending those calls, Lin Jinhua's number arrives. With a casual tap, I switch to speakerphone. The executive says, "Sir, I am sorry, a meeting made me miss your call." Lin Jingyao freezes when she hears her father's humble tone. She stares at me in disbelief. Her usually aloof father does not even dare speak proudly to this young man. I answer with a faint smile. "It does not matter. If you miss this call again, you will not have any meetings in the future." Lin Jingyao immediately raises her voice and starts complaining. She assumes her father will still protect her. This person bullied me. Instead, Lin Jinhua erupts with thunderous fury, shaking the speaker so violently that my phone nearly breaks. His command leaves no room for argument. You are a prodigal girl who does not know how to live or die. His anger continues without pause. I usually spoil you until you become lawless. Apologize to Mr. Yi immediately. Lin Jingyao stares at the phone, unable to believe that her father does not ask whether she has been wronged. He only forces her to bow her head and admit her mistake. During the call, Ethan recalls spoiling his daughter and buying every designer bag she wants. Now he scolds her over an outsider. When silence answers, he warns, if you want your privileged life, apologize immediately. Before hanging up, Ethan orders, apologize now, and keep apologizing until Amy's brother forgives you. At the production site, Daisy understands that I can decide whether her family survives. Without my forgiveness, the Lin family may soon face bankruptcy and liquidation. Humiliation nearly overwhelms her, but memories of lost wealth make her endure it. At the production site, the wealthy actress bows before my younger sister and whispers, I am sorry. I was wrong just now. Please forgive me. I hear every word despite her barely audible voice. Kind-hearted Amy begins letting the matter go, but I reach for her shoulder before she finishes. I catch Amy by the shoulder before she finishes. My calm voice carries clearly. Facing Daisy, I ask, where has that arrogant voice gone? Daisy stares at me, stunned. She pretends not to hear clearly, but her face turns crimson. I wait through Daisy's struggle, clenching my back molars. Pride battles survival until she raises her voice and repeats, please forgive me. Daisy curls her fingers and says, the mistake was mine. Please forgive me. I ask, what exactly did you do? She answers, you changed the props without authorization and deliberately made filming difficult for Amy. Please forgive my recklessness. Satisfied, I bend toward Amy. Amy wears a faint smile and gently shakes her head. She understands Daisy acted desperately when cornered, and she chooses mercy instead of pressing the matter further. Amy softly tells me, forget it, brother. This is enough. Her gentle voice loosens something in my heart. I straighten and face Daisy. Since my sister is generous and does not care, forget it today. But you used a private grudge to retaliate and seriously injured an actor, slowing the crew's progress. As a major shareholder, I am informing you now. I fire Daisy at once. You are dismissed from the Yunchuan crew. No further Yunchuan scenes include you. The actress values her family's wealth above this role. She remains a rich heiress with other options. Once the dispute settles, the magazine executive cautiously asks about his company's investment. Calmly, I answer and leave him awaiting my decision. Calmly, I answer, my sister relents, so your livelihood remains. After the call ends, Daisy leaves the crew in despair. The mess is finally settled, and only then do I turn my attention to Amy's injuries. I tell Amy, change out of this costume first. Let me see whether any bones are injured. Fiona immediately reads the situation and summons 2 female assistants to help her. When one of them approaches too closely, I give her a cold look and snap, stay away from my sister. The warning freezes everyone in place. No one dares take another step, while Shane dusts himself off and quickly offers Amy his hand. Shane and the assistants protect Amy from both sides as she heads toward the dressing room. Tyler follows with a medicine box, helps Amy sit in a chair, then wisely places the box down and retreats with Shane. I lock the dressing room door and help Amy loosen the complicated costume. I tell her, just take off your coat. There is nothing for Amy to feel embarrassed about with me here. Amy cooperates and removes her coat. Seeing my face grow darker, she reaches over and pinches my cheek. She wonders, did you not drive everyone away already? Amy looks at my expression and asks, why do you still have such a long face? I answer angrily, you are big-hearted enough to laugh after this. I know Daisy never had good intentions. I cannot understand her silence. Why did you not tell Fiona earlier? You are only here for a part-time job. Was it necessary to be so desperate? I truly wonder whether our family has been too careless with her. For Amy's sake, I continue, you endure such humiliation for only 180 extra yuan without telling anyone. That is unbelievably foolish. Her investment makes her the crew's honored guest, not its victim. Amy lowers her eyes and explains that she does not want trouble either. She fears causing problems for me because Daisy does not even know what cards I hold. If today had not happened, Daisy would never have learned that I am the hidden boss behind the scenes. Amy worries that truly provoking her might bring trouble to me. Amy says she cannot let this affect the business I have worked so hard to build, because then the loss outweighs the gain. I awkwardly touch the tip of my nose and admit it is my fault for never telling our family about this. I have never mentioned the properties in my name or the connections I possess throughout the industry. After a brief silence, I continue, but you cannot simply stand there and let people bully you. Amy seriously explains, at worst, we can stop filming this terrible scene. I heard this drama is very popular, so I wanted to experience it and become familiar with the short drama circle. Even if I never enter entertainment later, I still hope to learn more skills that can make money. Amy has already investigated the market. An ordinary part-time job pays 200 or 300 yuan a day, while famous people can charge tens of thousands. She never expected to become famous overnight. She only wants to raise her value, save more money, and reduce the burden on her family. She adds that she also deserves the effort I spend accompanying her through auditions. I sigh helplessly, pull a chair beside Amy, and sit down. Looking into her eyes, I tell her earnestly, "You cannot trade your life for money like this." I make her priorities clear. Your first priority is entering a good university. A part-time job is only for experiencing life. Find a career you love, and then your effort will be worthwhile. I invest in different places to train myself, so I do not care whether I gain or lose. That is why I never involve myself in tiny companies. Then I explain, my main company is different. It anchors every careful plan and carries countless people's work. This is the heart of my career. Chasing petty gains narrows your vision and traps you inside a tiny circle, making any rise between social classes far harder. Amy carefully weighs my words, then smiles gently. I understand, brother. I caused you a lot of trouble today. Why did you not come and support me in person? My pupils tremble, and I purse my lips awkwardly because even I cannot fully explain what I am thinking. I finally offer the simplest answer. The moment Shane told me what happened, I became anxious and rushed here. Hearing the humiliating words thrown at Amy makes my mind burn. I nearly act before thinking, because I have never been so impulsive. Once I see someone bullying my sister, I cannot suppress the anger. A beautiful smile spreads across Amy's face as she thinks, my brother is so hard-spoken yet soft-hearted. Amy understands that I have suffered greatly in the past. Pure family affection still feels unfamiliar to me, so even when I instinctively protect and care for her, my behavior becomes stiff and awkward. She does not want to push me too far and naturally changes the subject. Amy asks, how did you make Ethan give in so quickly? I answer calmly, I only held on to his capital chain. While disinfecting the injury with a cotton swab, I explain that business is ultimately an exchange of interests, with every bank and source of capital interfering with the others. I admit that I cannot reach into every corner myself, but that does not limit my network. Ordinary people run everywhere, seeking help when trouble comes, offering money and gifts while watching another person's expression. Within the rules of our circle, many problems require only one phone call. That is why I keep expanding my contacts. When no acquaintance exists in a field, I invest in promising companies and cultivate useful pieces. I am only 17, so I can spend 10 years building the board. By the time I reach 27, those connections will become my sharpest weapons, and this investment cannot lose. I suddenly ask Amy, do you truly like acting and filming? She answers honestly that the drama tortures her in every possible way, while Daisy is still here taking revenge on her. Amy concludes, only someone whose brain is flooded would enjoy finding fault like that. I cannot stop myself from chuckling. Outside the dressing room door, Shane leisurely sips the pearls in his drink while listening to our heart-to-heart talk. The corners of his mouth lift with unconcealed satisfaction, because seeing me furious earlier has clearly delighted him. Tyler looks wounded, as if Shane truly cannot understand his happiness. Amy has suffered so much injustice, yet she can still enjoy milk tea. The dressing room door opens a crack, and Tyler eagerly steps forward to greet her. His eyes are red and pitiful. Sister Amy, this is all my fault. Sorry for failing to handle everything today. That is why you suffered this unreasonable disaster. Amy raises her eyebrows in confusion, while I roll my eyes without a word. Is this male lead really showing off his acting skills? Tyler lowers his head, guilt covering his face, though sadness flashes through his eyes. Daisy has been targeting me. It must be because I have intimate scenes with you. He finally admits it. Jealousy made me deliberately trouble you. This is how I hurt you. Tyler has an exquisite face, bright eyes, and an apologetic expression that makes him look like a perfect, affectionate second lead. In a novel, this performance might work. But life is not a novel, and I refuse to accept his miserable drama. This persona disgusts me a little. His eyes redden whenever he wants pity, and he keeps apologizing as if the whole world owes him something. I shatter that illusion. Stop putting gold on your face. My sister swallows her anger because of nobody like you. I only care about the underlying logic. Whatever Daisy wants, this is work, and she wants the money for herself. From beginning to end, the incident involves violence and victimization, not Tyler. He hurriedly tries to defend himself, afraid I will judge him unfairly. Before Tyler can explain, I block him. Stop talking about useless things. My sister and you are not even ordinary friends. I leave him no room to argue. You have nothing to do with this mess. I truly do not understand why you are making fun of it. Anyway, my sister will not return to this crew. Tyler looks desperate to ease his conscience. If you forgive me, this guilt will feel lighter. I answer for Amy. Fine, I forgive you on my sister's behalf. I finish the matter with one warning. Do not bother us again in the future. Tyler is left completely confused. Mixed feelings churn painfully inside me. My hands twist together, while every prepared explanation catches uselessly in my throat. Tyler has done nothing wrong. My conscience simply feels uncomfortable. After all, if Daisy had not disliked Tyler, Amy would not have suffered this punishment for nothing. Unlike my sharp temper, Amy is always gentle. Seeing Tyler stranded in embarrassment, she offers him a few kind words of comfort. Amy softens the situation. My brother speaks too directly. Please do not take it to heart. This cannot truly be blamed on you. Shane is already tired of the tragic performance. He hands Amy the milk tea. Sister Amy, come sit at my winery. Lunch is already arranged. The three of us exchange smiles and leave together, abandoning Tyler in the wind. When Fiona sees Amy emerge after changing clothes, she immediately approaches with a smile. Fiona checks Amy anxiously. Amy, does anything hurt? Fiona promises the medical expenses will be reimbursed by finance. Amy keeps a polite, distant smile, while I see through the concern. I said all of that for my brother's sake. I gently hold Amy's arm and lower my voice. Do you still plan to continue filming this terrible drama? Amy, take this seriously. Amy nods. Since I accepted it, I will finish the photographs. Consider this my first drama. I nod as well, showing my support. But when I face Fiona, my expression turns cold. There has been a serious filming accident today. The crew is responsible. Replace everyone involved in this production. If such a mistake happens again, your job as director ends here. Fiona quickly raises 3 fingers and swears, making the promise so firmly, she nearly bites her tongue. I warn Fiona, you have 100 worries, but there will never be a next time. Then Amy, Fiona and I leave the set for the wine shop, where 6 climate-controlled cabinets line the walls. A mahogany reception table fills the deepest part of the shop, already covered with beautifully presented dishes. I recognize the signature food of Yondu Hotel. Shane warmly seats Amy, rests his chin on his hands, and smiles at her. Shane turns to Amy. What would you like to drink? Fresh grape juice, chilled watermelon juice, rich mango juice, fresh orange juice, or sweet sugarcane juice? Amy looks amused. Why does this high-end winery sound like the fruit shop downstairs? Shane smiles with crooked eyebrows. Choose anything. I will make it happen. Everything is natural and freshly squeezed. If Amy were not injured, he would open Lafiti to celebrate her first visit to his treasured place. Since business bores her, he keeps things simple. Shane and I understand each other, so we avoid business talk and focus on the winery. During the pleasant meal, Amy looks around curiously. Is your winery business doing well? Shane swallows his food and explains the simple truth. It actually depends on the circle. He continues, speaking about friends and connections. Friends hold celebrations, and several good channels are available. When a boss needs good wine, that boss asks me to find it. To put it plainly, this business is all about networking. When someone in that circle holds a banquet or engagement party, or needs holiday gifts, they take several cars of wine directly from Shane. The wealthy circle has enormous demand, so his shop turns an impressive profit, far better than his former hot pot venture. Amy's curiosity suddenly grows. How much does the most expensive wine in your store cost? Shane raises his head and recalls the figure carefully. Across the table, the shop owner answers, the priciest bottle displayed costs $390,000. Anything finer requires a deposit and an overseas buying trip. Collectors sometimes spend tens of millions on a single bottle. I listen, amused by the staggering figures. Amy's eyes widen. Even during the Yi family's most glorious period, she has never seen wine worth $390,000, much less tens of millions. I cannot help laughing. Do not be frightened by his exaggerated numbers. We usually drink ordinary wine. Those tens of millions are purely for appreciation. Amy still cannot accept it. No matter how rich the top boss is, who drinks tens of millions of dollars to quench thirst after an ordinary meal? Amy stares for several seconds, then laughs at her own expression. Once everyone has eaten and drunk enough, I stand and take her to say goodbye. I explain the evening plan. I will take my younger sister to Wade's place tonight, where several business partners will also be present. I am bringing you because I fear you will feel uncomfortable. First, I will take you home to rest. Amy agrees. Okay, go and get busy. She is always measured. Wade is my best friend's mentor and my younger sister's inspiration, so I ask permission before fixing the itinerary. The car stops smoothly at the community gate, and I carefully help Amy go. I nod, understanding her warning. Do not let our parents hear that I was injured on the stairs. They will only worry. Those wounds must not get wet. I will change your dressing when I return this evening. Amy pats my shoulder lovingly, glowing with soft warmth. I stare at her gentle expression, then sigh inwardly. No wonder Shane keeps staring at my sister all day like a lovesick fool. I cannot take my eyes off Amy until I say goodbye. Then I stop at the mall, choose several expensive gifts, and drive to Wade's residence, where I find him drinking tea in the living room. Every bag lands on the mahogany coffee table. Wade laughs. You even bring gifts? Are these all for this old man? Settling onto the leather sofa, I accept warm tea from Iris and reply, I cannot attend your dinner empty-handed. For his soup, I bring premium cordyceps and Sichuan peppercorns. Since tomorrow is the Mid-Autumn Festival, I also bring Wade a box of mooncakes. His eyes light up. I hear the mooncakes are delicious. Did you buy my favorite double yolk white lotus flavor? I roll my eyes at him. Your blood sugar will never come down at this rate. Eat fewer high-sugar sweets. The gifts include the flavored crab Wade is obsessed with. He happily opens the exquisite cakes, all specially selected by him. I stop him before he eats. Do not have these snacks on an empty stomach. Iris watches him closely. You can eat 2 pieces at most each day, just enough to satisfy your craving. Wade curls his lips but finally agrees with a little grievance. I know. Wade looks at me with surprise. You are young, yet surprisingly lenient. They force me to drink bitter medicine all day. We chat for a while until Ruby arrives in a hurry. Ruby carries several exquisite gift boxes and greets Wade with a familiar smile. Thank you, sir. I have not seen you in so long. Wade snorts like an offended elder. Mr. Liu still remembers this old man after all? Ruby is amused by his appearance and offers the apology she came prepared to give. Of course, I came here specifically to apologize. Wade accepts the heavy gifts, a brand new high-end suit that fits perfectly, soft-soled handmade leather shoes, dried wild ginseng, deer antler, and other medicinal supplements. Ruby looks over the collection and bursts out laughing. Why are all these gift supplements with such a strong medicinal taste? I tell Jenny, drink more tonic soup, it is good for your health. She stares at Ruby with wide eyes, dazzled by her beauty, then leans close and whispers, Brother, who is this beautiful sister? She looks prettier than television stars. Wade overhears and answers first. Wade immediately declares, She is your brother's future wife. Call her sister-in-law quickly. Ruby blushes and I glare angrily at Wade. I correct Wade at once. Ignore his nonsense. Ruby has been my best friend since childhood. Call her sister Ruby. Jenny rises politely and says, Hello, Sister Ruby. Miles is my biological older brother. My name is Jenny. Ruby bends down with a warm smile, offers a small gift bag, and replies, Hello, Jenny. Offering the bag, my friend says, This meeting gift is for you. My younger sister looks to me for approval. At my nod, she accepts it. Thank you, sister. My friend strokes her hair. A picture next time is enough. Wade ties on an apron, eager to show off in the kitchen, and happily goes inside. Iris follows to wash vegetables and cut meat. I watch Jenny study the album quietly, while Ruby sits beside me like an exhausted kitten and rests her head on my shoulder. I turn over and hold Ruby's cold hand. Will you go to the hospital tomorrow to accompany Uncle Lou and Aunt Lou, or will you fly abroad first to visit your grandparents? Ruby closes her eyes, her voice heavy with exhaustion. I will visit my parents at the hospital first thing in the morning. We can book an afternoon flight abroad. Her weakness is not an act. She has truly been drained by work. Hoarseness roughens every word. To free her schedule for the Mid-Autumn Festival, she has worked overtime at the company, day and night. Ruby only wants to spend the holiday properly with her family. I am going to Country K to visit my elders. Something happened in Wushan, so I will fly there and deal with it. Ruby lowers her eyes and toys with the objects in her hands. It may take more than a month to return. I answer quietly, Work is important. I will take care of you at the hospital. She then warns me, I may need you to keep an eye on me. The new products are still in research and development. Ruby says, We just signed Ruoming's contract. Trouble now worries me most. I nod. I will help wherever I can. Let Iris contact me at any time. After we settle the work arrangements, Ruby suddenly sits upright. Tell me about the thing you mentioned last time. I have news now. I am startled. She means Mu Xuan's inexplicable visit to the Mu family, and I have seen the copy Mu Xuan brought myself. Ruby has already investigated. Do you know which hospital issued the paternity test? Otherwise, you will search blindly. Her people retrieve hospital surveillance and confirm that Mu Xuan personally submitted the sample and personally collected it. At the hospital, I spot the eldest Mu daughter's people watching the biological heir. They question his true motives. I touch my chin, thinking carefully. Mu Xuan cannot obtain Isaac's sample alone, so someone is helping him. Yet the arrangement makes no sense. If that person truly wants to help, why not simply hand him the identification results? Why make him conduct the appraisal himself, then appear on surveillance and leave such obvious traces? If Mu Xuan is truly Isaac's flesh and blood, his return to the Mu family is natural. The hidden helper has accomplished something enormous. He could use this to climb into the Mu family. Why hide it so deeply? Ruby takes a sip of hot tea before revealing her suspicion. I once suspected that your replacement was not merely a mistake. Someone may have had bad intentions and deliberately switched the babies. I sent people to the hospital where you were born, but after searching through those old records, they found no clues. A powerful uneasiness rises in me. Ordinary babies and a baby born in the VIP ward cannot be placed on the same floor. Someone went to great lengths to make the switch, moving me from the general ward where I belonged to the top floor VIP room. What is the other party planning? Besides replacing a newborn, what real benefit can this bring? The matter is so complicated that I feel my brain burning. Sorting it out is harder than investing. I cannot stop thinking about it. Grace and Mu Xuan investigate too. Truth will emerge. I leave it alone. Saving my thoughts for business, I tell Ruby I need those brain cells for making money. Only money truly belongs to me. Ruby laughs. Young master, do not worry, I am always willing to work for you. I feign anger. You disappeared for over a month. Who serves whom? Ruby hooks my shoulder. Ruby pinches my earlobe, her eyes filled with unmistakable tenderness. It is hard on our young master. I will definitely bring you a big gift when I return. If you miss me, call me any time. I roll my eyes and answer angrily, who would miss you for no reason? Stop being so sentimental here. Ruby cannot hold back her chuckle. Ruby remains the same person who says exactly what she means. The food arrives quickly, and everyone finally gathers for a rare meal. Wade opens good wine to celebrate, so Iris and Ruby drink together while my younger sister and I stick to iced orange juice. The Mew family gathers today on Mew Ningshui's private 32nd floor. Frank usually lives alone, but now he sits lazily with one leg crossed, a red wine glass trembling in his hand. You really don't plan to bring him back? Mu Ningshu lowers her eyes and sips. The short question makes the meaning obvious. His surname is now Ye. Frank frowns and sets down his red wine. Does his surname matter? Look at him in that slum, sharing a tiny room, waking early, and taking the bus. Anyway, I understand. Our 17-year-old brother grew up pampered and well-dressed, even without much pampering here. How can we watch him suffer outside? That argument silences the room. A delicate, costly body like his will not suffer. I remember Chloe's doting gaze from a distance. Mu Ningshui's eyes flicker before she regains composure. He has at least 3 properties in his name. She continues, his available working capital exceeds 5 million. Staying with the Yi family is his own choice. If he does not want to remain there, he can live independently. Since he chooses to stay, whatever he plans, he recognizes the Yi family's character and knows they will never wrong him. Frank says, we do not need to persuade you. He severed ties with the Yi family and built his own business. He scratches his hair irritably, then closes his eyes and sighs. Frank closes his eyes and sighs. Whatever, I'm too lazy to care. His wings have grown hard, so it is not our turn to meddle in other people's business. As Ruby drives Amy and me home, remembering Iris's look makes her sour, and jealousy fills her tone. Her accusation stuns me. Can you stop spreading your charm everywhere? My sense of crisis is serious. I burst out laughing. You have no reason to be jealous. Ruby asks, while driving, will you help Iris? I answer, I barely know her, I added her for career. I answer calmly, first, hear the songs she wrote. Calmly, I explain. Hear her songs before deciding whether to help. Her work must prove its value before I invest. I know nearly every famous figure in this circle, while our holdings already cover almost every industry. Yet that is not enough for my ambition. I now want to earn money in entertainment, and Iris becomes my first investigation. Ruby hears this and sighs helplessly, unable to settle down. The plea comes softly, I've been waiting for you. Please wait for me. The corner of my mouth lifts. I will never wait for you. I will keep moving forward. No one can stop me. Only by holding money and power can I speak anywhere. This is the truth I learned in the Mu family.